Welcome to UFCU Dish Falk Field, where we've got the Class 5A Region 2 Championship Series. This is Game 3 between the Woodlands at 35-4 and Rockwall at 34-8. The series is even at one game apiece. Cameron Kushwar and Jeff Power joining you here in the press box, and this is the matchup we've been waiting for. Both teams have now won a game in this series, and it all comes down to this one.
They're leaving it all out there right now, Jeff. Rockwall really has their momentum going right now. They really dominated that second game. They dominated most of the first game aside from that one inning. They got to feel pretty good about their chances here because they've gotten a lot of hits. They've scored a lot of runs. But the Woodlands, they are still the favorite. There's a reason they're the #1 ranked team in the state, and there's a reason that they're out there as the home team and getting their big arm ready, seemingly in this endless parade of big, hard-thrown arms.
Chris Andritzos will get the start for the Woodlands. Now, we've been talking about his performance at the plate for 2 games, 5 hits. But how about as a pitcher? Well, 2.02 earned run average, 41 strikeouts with a 34 and 2/3 innings pitched. Not bad.
And it's fair to ask also, you talk about his performance at the plate, how fresh is he going to be out there? He's played every inning of the 2 games. It's a very hot, sunny day out there. Also, just a sophomore. His team season is on the line right now, and that's a young man who's 16, 17 years old out there and has to come through and save his team.
Chris Glover will get the start for Rockwall. Now he's got 7 wins and 41 innings pitched, has allowed only 8 earned runs all year long, 16 walks, 78 strikeouts. That ERA of 1.29, that's what the doctor would order today.
Well, that's possibly a little bit deceptive, though, because he has allowed 20 runs, but only 8 of those runs are earned, so maybe his defense has not helped him out all that much.
All right, we'll be right back with the first pitch. It's the decisive game. Stick around, folks, here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
CBO, cheddar, bacon, onion.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
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 Say hello to McDonald's new CBO. Smooth cheddar, crispy bacon, grilled onions on the Angus 3rd Pounder or premium chicken sandwiches. CBO, the simple joy of
Tremendous.
All righty, welcome to UFCU Dish Falk Field, where we are underway. The Rockwall Yellowjackets up at the plate right now. That's Brad Barnett at the plate. And on the mound, Chris Andritzos from the Woodlands Highlanders. Right now the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. This is Game 3, the decisive Game 3. And the pitch from Andritzos, ball high. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Brad Barnett. He is the 3rd baseman for Rockwall. Reached base 3 times in the last game, scored all 3 times. And he walks right here. So a good start for Rockwall here in Game 3. The winner, of course, headed to the state tournament over at the Dell Diamond next week in Round Rock.
A couple of defensive changes for the Woodlands here in this ball game. Carter Hope back at 3rd base. He started the second game, of course. Josh Pruitt played 3rd. And Braxton Markle, who we saw in relief in Game 2, is getting the start at 1st base, but he is not going to hit. Chris Andritzos still in the batting order for the Woodlands. Josh Shaw is the DH for Braxton Markle.
So Barnett on with a walk. This brings up Cole Ballou, and Cole Ballou takes strike 1.
Ballou, the only home run hit this weekend, a mammoth shot last night.
He reached base 3 times in the last game as well, in that 7-1 victory in Game 2. Had a single in the 1st, single in the 5th. Was hit by a pitch in the 6th.
Well, he was part of that rally to start the ball game off after Barnett reached on an error. Ballou singled, got him at 1st and 2nd.
Cole Ballou crowding that plate. And that's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're here at Dish Falk Field in Austin, Texas. Beautiful day for baseball. It's up to 96 degrees right now, one of the warmest days so far in 2013 in Austin, but that just lets you know that the state tournament's right around the corner. And the 0-2 pitch, fouled back.
Andritzos, as we said in the pregame, 2.02 earned run average, pitched 34 innings, 34 and 2/3. He's allowed 27 hits and 9 walks, so a little bit more than a base runner per inning, but has the 41 strikeouts, so better than a strikeout inning. He can blow guys away.
And the 1-2 pitch to Ballou, swung on, hit towards right, making the grab and firing it back into the infield. is the Woodlands outfielder, and that's Blaine Gillespie out there. The sun could be a factor, especially in right field this time of day at Dish Falk Field.
Well, the first game, it was very overcast out there. Most of the game was played without any direct sunlight, but right now some of the clouds are blowing off, and there is just bright sunshine pouring down every part of this field.
So Kendall Coleman steps up. He has been impressive throughout this series, not only in the outfield, but at the plate. Had a single in the last game, had an RBI. Ball outside, 1 ball, no strike.
Getting a preview of the strike zone from our new home plate umpire, Jerry Johnson, and so far it's pretty tight. He is making Chris Andrizos bring it over the plate.
Kendall Coleman, as you see, batting over 400. Very wide open stance, headed to Iowa to play baseball at the collegiate level. Ground ball, put it where the shortstop was, and he's going to pick up a single the old-fashioned way.
A perfectly executed hit and run right there with the left-handed batter at the plate. The shortstop covers on any throw down to second there. If he's standing, and then the ball gets away right here, and Coleman's going to hustle down to second on a little error.
So Rockwall taking advantage early. That's what they did a lot in game 2. Both teams had 7 hits, but Rockwall did a much better job of hitting with runners in scoring position and just moving runners around.
Rockwall clustered their hits, 2 in the first, 5 in that big 5th inning right there. That one, that's got to be an error on the pitcher. They tossed the ball back to Andrizos, and he just kind of nonchalantly went to catch it, dropped it, allowed Coleman to get to second in scoring position. Now, runners second, third, just 1 out. A hit could put Rockwall up, give him a crooked number in that first inning.
Carson Childers at the plate, plays first base for Rockwall. Yellowjackets 34-8 on the year. Keep in mind, they are now the first team in this postseason to beat the Woodlands when they won game 2. The Woodlands, they've been very impressive throughout the playoffs, sweeping every series up to this point in 2 games. But Rockwall, they've been stingy. They came out of that Dallas-Fort Worth area, battle-tested. Beat Klein Collins last week. In the greater Houston areas we've talked about in our previous broadcast, loaded with Region 2 baseball talent, Klein Collins being one of those teams, the Woodlands, of course. So a 1-1 count now to Carson Childers. Wow, some heat right there from Andrizos.
Just blew that one right past him. Childers was swinging for the downs right there. You know, all he needs is a ground ball. The Highlanders defense is back. No double play in order there, so ground ball to the middle infield is going to give Rockwall the lead.
Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here. You see Childers crouching down low. Strike 3 as he goes down swinging. So that will bring up Garrett Moon.
There's kind of a delayed reaction there all around. Childers taking his time retiring from the batter's box. The umpire not necessarily very demonstrative.
Scoreboard operator not putting it up.
Yeah. It's a hot day out here. Things just a little bit slow.
So Garrett Moon steps up to the plate. Moon is your catcher. This is his 2nd game behind the plate. We'll see what he can do at the plate. He had a single in the first game. Kind of wears on you when you play in a doubleheader in a day, especially for the catcher. You don't often see in the major leagues a catcher playing both games.
Tools of ignorance, they call the catcher's gear.
1 ball, no strike. Thought that might catch the inside corner, but no.
I think it might have been a little bit upstairs here. Andrizos has to be careful with that runner at third base. A wild pitch or a pass ball. Got to figure Rockwall will be trying to run.
Jerry Johnson, the home plate umpire. Mark Beletka at first. Rodney Langford at second. Rick Miller at third. Inside, 3-0.
Trying to wrap that curveball around the inside corner. And Moon kind of spinning half-heartedly out of the way right there. He wouldn't mind getting hit by that one.
Well, I can tell you, they're probably not going to give Moon anything to hit here.
Nope.
The base was open. That brings up Kason Adams, who actually pitched the last game, but he's your designated hitter in this one.
Who pitched magnificently in that last game. Scattered 7 hits, only allowed the 1 run. They're going to get a pinch runner out of first base for Rockwall. It's one of their 2 number 6s. They have a pair of them on the roster.
You want to go with Jeff Dorsey or Trey Ochoa?
I believe it's Jeff Dorsey. I think that might have been a case of one ball player coming up to the varsity, maybe back down to the junior varsity level. And Dritzos now with a couple walks this inning, nowhere to put Adams.
First pitch to Case Adams. And I tell you, Case had a really good game, pitched a complete game, just what the doctor ordered for Rockwall, allowed 7 hits and 1 run.
Really was only in trouble that one inning with the bases loaded, nobody out, and got a double play.
He could be a hero today with a base hit here.
Well, he's already a hero for getting them here to this third ball game. Why not become a legend, maybe? And
Case Adams was on the junior varsity last year. This is his first year at varsity. Grew about 3 inches, his coach told me, and he's living large.
Count. He's making
exactly. This ball roped foul to the left into the screen.
And these Rockwall fans, they are really pumped up. They've had a lot of energy all weekend here in between games. They were down there in the concourse here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field. They were pumped up and high-fiving. The Woodland fans, a lot more calm and collected. But I think these Rockwall ball players are drawing some energy from their fanatics.
And ball upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. 400 to straight center here at Disch-Falk Field. 405 in the power alleys, 375 to left and right, and 340 down the left field line, 325 down the right field line. 2-2 pitch, strike 3. There's a big strikeout right there by Chris Andrizzo. So no damage done, bases left loaded, only 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the first, no score.
Thanks for the VIP treatment, Kerry. Thanks for saving me all that money on my car insurance, Robert. That's State Farm's discount double check. We dig through your policy, find any hidden savings. That's funny. Before every home game, I used to do an Ivy double check. Really? Yeah, people drop all kinds of stuff in here. Old cell phone, French horn. Andre Dawson? What year is it?
Let State Farm find your hidden savings with a discount double check.
Caught it! Woo!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
And welcome back to UFCU Disch-Falk Field. Chris Glover on the mound here, 7-0 record, ERA at 1.34 in 41 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's done a nice job so far this year, and I think they're looking for a good 3 to 4 innings out of him today.
Well, we heard that he would be on a short lease. A little surprising looking at the Rockwall pitching statistics. They've got Alec Weiss, who has gotten an awful lot of work for them, has appeared in the most games, second most innings on the squad. We saw him last night. He came in, he only faced 3 batters in that big 6th inning and got the hook. We figured that was Coach Payne's attempt to try and stem the tide, and when he didn't get it, he pulled him out and was going to hold him in reserve for today. But maybe he's the guy they're going to go to if Chris Glover gets in trouble or runs out of gas out there. But right now, I mean, whoever can throw a ball up there has got to be ready to possibly get that call, aside from obviously the starters in the first 2 games.
Dylan Warren will get things started here for the Woodlands Highlanders, followed by Charlie Warren and Alex Dunlap. Dylan steps up. He's the shortstop for the Woodlands. He's got a lot of good speed. Showed that in the last game. Had a single and a walk. Really scoots around those bases. First pitch, swung on, hit foul towards right. The Dulles Vikings have already punched their ticket to the state tournament. They're in. Tomball is in out of the greater Houston area. The Woodlands trying to make it 3 teams from the greater Houston area. Rockwall has a lot to say about that, though. We know San Antonio Connor is also in after their win over Eagle Pass.
This would be big for the Woodlands right here if they could even just get 1 run on the board, if they can escape having the bases loaded, dodging that threat in the top of the first inning would really give them an edge going forward.
Ground ball up the middle, and this is going to be at least, well, let's see. Looks like it will be an infield single.
Yeah, diving to his left. Tough play right there. Angel got his glove on the ball, kept it in the infield. But like you said, Warren with great speed. No way Angel was going to pop up and get him.
So that'll bring up Charlie Warren.
Interesting.
Charlie Warren.
We saw Charlie Warren bunt when Hill and Warren got on base to start the ball game last night. See if Coach Eastman does that again. And I got to imagine he's just trying to get a run on the board here because his team has really not had much success.
There you go. Lays down the bunt beautifully. There's going to be a tight play at first, and he's out. Wow.
Good call.
Charlie Warren hustling down the field. He pulls up a little bit gimpy on, it looks like, his left leg.
Ooh, that could be big. That's your starting center fielder, and he definitely needs two functioning legs to cover all that ground out there.
Well, it looked like he tried to step on the bag there with his left leg. Might have kind of tweaked his knee a little bit.
Now they've got a runner in scoring position with one out, and Dustin Angel, he came up a little gingerly after Hill and Warren's ball to start the ball game. I think he might have knocked the wind out of himself diving there because he's got his hands on his knees and looks like he's having trouble catching his breath.
And Angel, of course, had a really big game in Game 2. Quite a few putouts from the shortstop position. Had a single and a walk in his last 2 at-bats, scored a run.
You know, really aside, I don't want to keep going back to it, but aside from that 6th inning last night, Rockwall has really been the better team. They had a couple errors in that inning. Everything that could go wrong in that inning did go wrong for the Yellowjackets. But otherwise, they've made all the plays on defense. They have taken exactly what they have been given by the pitching staff of the Woodlands, be it walks, hit batters. They've stolen bases. They've been aggressive. They've just done everything right. And it sounds pretty simplistic there, but a lot of times the team that wins is the one that just executes, makes the plays, and doesn't make mistakes.
Alex Dunlap at the plate now. Runner in scoring position. Dunlap, your catcher. He's played in the first 2 games, and in his last at-bat in the previous game, he'd worked a walk after starting off 0-2, so he's very patient at the plate. Catchers, a lot of times, they know that strike zone better than anybody.
Jerry Johnson with very delayed strike calls behind home plate. The Rockwall fans thought that last one should have been strike 1.
And there's a strike.
No doubt about that. Swung through and missed it.
96 degrees right now, and everybody feeling the heat right now. Hasn't been this warm in Austin all year, I don't believe. But it's baseball season. And there's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Dunlap. Chris Andritzos is on deck, and yes, he is the pitcher, but man, he can hit. 5 hits, first 2 games, headed to OU. He's on deck if Dunlap can reach. And this ball swung on, hit down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases. Coming around third and in to score will be Warren. And at second base, Dunlap pulls in with a double. And the Woodlands fans cheering as their team takes the early 1-0 lead.
That ball was smoked right off the bat, ripped down into that left field corner, no doubt about it. And we are finally hearing something from this Woodlands crowd. They'd almost been complacent, was the best word I can think to describe their performance so far, but now they're making their voice heard.
Well, Rockwall pretty much owned that second game and took the crowd out of it. Of course, the Woodlands, up until that 6th inning when they scored 12 runs in the first night, they didn't have a lot to cheer about either. Maybe this is what they need, just what the doctor ordered to bring these bats alive. We know how potent they can be. So runner on second base. This is Chris Andritzos at the plate. Runner moving into third. There's the slide, and he's out. So Dunlap, the catcher, trying to steal third, and he's caught stealing.
He was very close to sneaking in there. The throw beat him by a good bit, but it was on the foul territory side of the third base bag. Nice job by, who else? Brad Barnett, the third baseman, swiping that tag back in there and getting his hand as he was trying to reach it into the bag.
The 1-1 pitch swung on, fouled back. You know, with 2 outs, I was almost surprised seeing him going on that pitch because, I mean, a base hit pretty much brings him in anyway with 2 outs.
Well, you got the big right-handed hitter up there, so that's hard for the catcher to throw on, and Glover not the quickest to the plate.
Maybe you got to find out early on, you know, what that
they're putting the pedal down, are the Woodlands there. I think they know they've been outplayed. They're trying to get that energy, get that jolt, and kind of get the whole team firing.
Outside, count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chris Andritzos. He's headed to Oklahoma, verbally committed there. He's only a sophomore. It's 12 home runs. He can do it all. Plays first base normally, but when he's not at first, he's pitching like he is in this 3rd game. And he swings at strike. Well, it would have been ball 4, but instead he goes down swinging for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Woodlands puts up a run on a pair of hits. We move to the 2nd. 1-0, the Highlanders leading Rockwall.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway Suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders!
Yes, sir.
Lucy. Lucy loves to shop. Lucy also loves to save. Luckily, Lucy can do both with her new First Community Credit Union Platinum Credit Card. Not only can Lucy save on that new dress, she can also get those new shoes, too. Apply today and take advantage of everything a First Community Credit Union Platinum Credit Card has to offer, including a 12-month 2.99% APR introductory rate. You really can shop and save. First Community Credit Union, official credit union of the Houston Texans.
And welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field here in Austin, Texas. We move now to the top of the 2nd inning. Cameron Kushwar and Jeff Power joining you here from the press box. Nick Lutzel will get things started against Chris Andritzos. Andritzos on the mound after the strikeout there to end the bottom of the 1st. Now he'll try to do the same to Nick Lutzel. There's strike 2.
Andritzos with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in that 1st inning, so a little bit wild, but able to overcome it.
All popped up. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, just on the way here in the 2nd inning now. This is game 3 of the best of 3 game series. The winner is headed to the state tournament. Class 5A championships being played over at the Dell Diamond. Only the 3A championship is here at Dish Falk Field. Ball grounded towards 3rd, and it is fair. And moving over to 2nd base on this play is Lutzel.
Have to see how they score that there. Really lackadaisical effort by Carter Hope. He didn't pick it cleanly. A tough play right up the line, but then he just kind of stood there and let the ball trickle into foul territory and allowed Lutzel to cruise into 2nd. They're calling it a hit here, so that's a double.
Well, on top of that, it appeared that he just he was obviously in fair territory when he made the stab at it, so he didn't do himself a favor.
No.
If you really thought it was foul, let it go, if you're not going to make more of an effort. All right, so that brings up now Dustin Angel. Tries to lay down the bunt. Strike 1.
Angel runs very well. He is definitely a threat to turn a sacrifice into a hit. Rockwall did that last ball game, and he was trying to drag bunt that one, because when you're just trying to sacrifice, you square up, all you're looking to do is make contact. But he's got some pop in his bat as well.
Yeah, 353 batting average, 31 runs batted in. He might get one here in between the 3rd baseman and shortstop, but holding up at 3rd will be Lutzel, so the first 2 men reach.
Not good base running there by Lutzel. He held up and waited until that ball was already cleared through the infield. Maybe he just had a bad read on it there and thought the shortstop might make the play. But even if the shortstop did, that's deep in the hole. They probably don't get him at 3rd base. He might have been able to score.
But with nobody out, no damage done, so Skylar Bean steps up. The Rockwall crowd definitely in it.
Yeah. This would be huge for Rockwall if they could answer that run. They missed a chance in the first.
Skylar Bean, he's going to get at least a sacrifice fly here, up, and caught by the center fielder, but a run will score. And trucking home is Lutzel. Dustin Angel will stay over at first.
So just like that, Rockwall needs 3 batters, and that was 6 pitches by my count. Chris Andritzos is not really fooling them up there, and they've hit a couple balls hard off of him.
So game all tied at 1 now.
And now they're back to the top of the order, which loaded the bases last inning.
Dustin Angel at first. Brad Burnett at the plate. He walked his first time up.
Well, he's just been a pest today.
He scored did not score in the first, but was left on third.
Scored 3 runs in that first game. Only had 1 hit. That was a bunt single. Reached on an error and was hit by a pitch his other 2 times up. Last time up, drew a walk. So he's been on base 4 of his 5 at-bats today. But officially, he's only 1 for 3.
The 0-1 pitch. Over the first.
Very short lead over there by Angel. We saw Rockwall steal a few bags in that first game, but they also had a man thrown out at second. Dunlap with a strong arm behind the plate for the Woodlands.
And the 0-1 pitch to Brad Barnett is laced into left field for a single. Station to station baseball right now as Dustin Angel moves over to second.
They're just hitting him where the pitch is delivered to them. That pitch on the outside half of the plate. If he tries to pull that ball, it's a weak ground ball that possibly turns into a double play, but go out there, throw the head of the bat out at the ball, and poke it out in the left field. The Woodlands pitcher and pitching coach are going to come out to talk to Andritzos. Remember, this is a sophomore out there, Jeff. It's been a very long year as a ball player. He's played in all these games. He's pitched in a lot of games as well. And the game he played all last night, played earlier today. He's been out on the base paths running. You know, he might be tired out there.
One thing that was a factor last night in game 1 was the shadows and the sun effect. Started noticing that the shadows will become a factor a little bit later in this game, so very important to try to score some runs early, because last night when the shadows were on the field over home plate, nobody scored. Nobody even got any hit for Rockwall.
Both pitchers were really dealing. That was part of that as well. We saw the 2 aces at work.
Runners on first and second here. Cole Ballou. He hit a shot to center field that they're still trying to find. I think that wound up over at McCombs Field across the street at the softball stadium. Dead center over the green monster.
Andritzos is elevating his pitches here. He's having trouble getting them down in the strike zone.
The 1-0 pitch to Ballou, and he gets a hold of this one down the left field line. Oh, it's just foul. Excuse me, right field line. That ball was fouled by about maybe 5 to 10 feet, but it was a shot out there.
He was out in front of that one there, but again, not at all fooled. He was looking for a pitch. He got it. He jumped on it, hit it hard, just a hair too early.
Tell you, when Ballou turns on it, look out. Gets the head of the bat on that ball and can really rip it. There's a ball.
And he's not the biggest specimen up there, but really whips that bat through the strike zone, gets a lot of bat speed.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Game tied at 1. Rockwall threatening here in the second inning. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Andritzos really struggling to find, not only is he having trouble throwing strikes, he's not throwing pitcher strikes. He's throwing strikes that these batters are able to handle.
And the 3-1 pitch swung on, hit out towards left. Appearing to have a beat on it is the left fielder, and that is Warren pulling it in, or excuse me, Colby Brown.
And he got underneath that one just a little bit. Still, though, hit it very hard. That might be right up against the fence at some of the smaller ballparks in this great state of Texas, but here at Dish Falk, it's just a long out.
So 2 outs now. Runners still at first and second. And that'll bring up the leading hitter for Rockwall, Kendall Coleman.
Coleman had that single last inning on the hit and run play, and the catcher Dunlap went out to talk to Andritzos. They might be telling him to be very, very careful in a walk here and load the bases, but then it brings up a right-handed hitter who you struck out last inning.
Kendall also had a single in the last game and a line out that was a shot.
Yeah, I think they're going to be very careful to Coleman here, and they'll take their chances with the bases loaded. And Carson Childers, this is the 3rd consecutive lefty at the top of the order for Rockwall against the right-handed pitcher Andritzos. Had a lot more success when they faced a right-handed starter.
And the 1-0 pitch, swung on, hit towards left, and that's going to drop in for extra bases. 1 run is in. Coleman winds up at second. They're waving another runner in, and he's also going to score. So a 2-run double by Kendall Coleman. And you said it, Cameron. Perhaps the Woodlands should have been a little bit more careful with Coleman, and he makes them pay with that ball being thrown right down the middle of the plate, lacing it into left center for a double.
Well, talk about coming out right here. Coleman struggled last night, didn't record a hit. Earlier today, he didn't get his first hit until his 3rd at bat, a 2-run single. Now he's got hits in 3 of his last 4 trips to the plate. He's now driven in 5 runs in 2 ball games. And he is a big reason, and his defense out in center, he's a reason Rockwall is now in position to win this series and move on to the state tournament.
One of the fans here held up a sign that said K Cold. He's on second.
And that was a nice play out in left field by Colby Brown, sliding to his left to keep that ball from getting past him and going to the fence. If it had gotten to the fence, Coleman has at least a triple, maybe an inside the park.
Carson Childers at the plate, the 0-1 pitch, inside ball.
And we've got activity in the Woodlands bullpen. A right-hander is out there. You know, since this is potentially your last game of the year, both these coaches can have very short leashes on their hurlers. And if you don't like what you're seeing out there, you can get somebody out quickly.
The 1-1 pitch to Carson Childers, swung on, strike 2. So Rockwall already with 5 hits in the game. They lead it 3-1. They put a 3 spot on the board last night in the 5th. They do it here today in the 2nd. You're right, Cameron. They've outplayed the Woodlands up to this point.
They really have. Just all it takes is 1 inning to lose a ball game, and all the good work you did doesn't matter.
Swung on, fouled back. Look out.
Childers starting to get around on that. He foul-tipped the previous pitch to get strike 2. That time he was just late on it there, but got a lot more of the bat to foul it off right there. And Andritzos is throwing hard, but he's up in the zone, and there's just not a lot of movement on his pitches. It's hard and straight. So if you can catch up to it, you can handle it.
Kendall Coleman at second with that 2-run double, albeit with 2 outs on top of that. Carson Childers at the plate. He did strike out his first time at bat. Garrett Moon is on deck. This is the meat of the order for Rockwall. They're trying to make the Woodlands pay early on here in the 2nd inning. The pitch swung on, fouled back.
Good job just staying alive right there. And it's big for Rockwall to come back and answer after they wasted the bases loaded in the 1st inning, after they allowed the Woodlands to take the lead. You always want to try and respond if you can.
Good baseball teams usually do that. It's been kind of a magical season for Rockwall. Their head coach, Jeff Payne, said, hey, I know we weren't the best team in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we're playing like it now, and that's all that matters.
Well, so often you see it, it's not so much the best team, it's the team that's playing the best. Right now, Rockwall is playing better baseball than the Woodlands. We still got a long way to go in this 3rd ball game here, but it looks like Rockwall has more energy, and it looks like, pardon the cliche, it looks like they want it more.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Childers steps out. You know, it's not uncommon to see a wild card team in the major leagues win a World Series, and you know, even though Rockwall's got a 34-8 record and the Woodlands are 35-3 or 35-4. Doesn't matter. Throw out the records when you're in the championship series. Here we go. Pop fly to right, and with the catch right there is the right fielder, and that'll do it. We go down to the bottom of the second inning, but Rockwall with 3 runs in the second. They regain the lead 3-1. We'll be back with more.
The time is now for live video highlights of your school's march to excellence.
News sets up inside of the pitch. High fly to left. It's up, it's deep, and it's going to be gone!
Legacy Sports Network brings you high-quality HD video broadcasted by the best in the business.
Handoff, Adam Taylor lunges to the end zone, touchdown! This is one of the most exciting things.
With all the runs, hits, scores, and more, we're building a legacy one game at a time.
I appreciate it, Gerald. You guys at Legacy do an unbelievable job.
Join us on pay-per-view or video live streaming your favorite high school and college athletics at legacysportsnetwork.com.
Legacy Sports Network is going to be bringing this presentation to your home.
And welcome back to Dish Fog Field here in Austin, Texas. Chris Glover on the mound for Rockwall, and he's got a cushion now. 3 runs in the second inning for the Yellowjackets as they take the 3-1 lead on the Woodlands. And if you are the Woodlands, you gather yourself up in that dugout and you say, hey, we scored a run in the first. It could have been more. Let's compose ourselves and get out there and show them what we can do. The Highlanders have been able to show all season long that they can produce a lot of runs, almost an incredible 3-1 margin of runs scored to their opponents.
Well, you know, a lot of that, though, was their pitching. They gave up very few runs. They've given up – I'll let you get the pitch here.
Rounder to third. Quick throw to first and out on the play right there. So Blaine Gillespie grounds out to third. Nice job by the third baseman for Rockwall, Brad Barnett.
Both of these teams were pretty close offensively. Coming into this series, the Woodlands had scored 277 runs. Rockwall had scored 240. Woodlands had only given up 75. They have now given up 15 runs. So they've given up 1/5 of the entire amount of runs they've given up here in 2+ games. So much of that run differential was their pitching staff, and their pitching struggling here.
The 1-0 pitch to Josh Shaw. So 2 balls, no strikes.
And you heard the coach for Rockwall, Jeff Payne, telling us that, or excuse me, it was Coach Eastman for the Woodlands saying the Rockwall players can hit fastballs. They're doing that.
Ground ball towards second. Scooped up, over to first for the out. Rockwall's been solid on the defensive side of the field as well today.
And, you know, it was. They committed those 2 errors last night, one of them by Barnett fumbling the ball, trying to come home, the other one by the catcher throwing up the first baseline when his first baseman was not ready. It really is almost like that inning was the complete anomaly. Every other time, Rockwall's been very sure-handed. They've made all of the plays.
Yeah, it was Skylar Bean there at second. He's had a great series. This brings up Carter Hope, who fouls this one up. We've seen Carter Hope on the mound. He's now at third base in this game.
Be interesting to see how well he can hold up out there. I mean, I know he's a high school age young man, and, you know, the body would bounce back and refresh, but he threw a lot of pitches in that heat that first game. Now he's got to make those long throws from third down to first base.
And there's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here, bottom of the second inning. The Woodlands trailing Rockwall 3-1. Game 3, best of 3 game series. It's the Class 5A Region 2 Championship Series.
Nice pitch.
Winner advances to the Dell Diamond in Round Rock next week. Loser goes home. Both these teams have had fine seasons, no question about it. The Woodlands ranked number 1 in the state, number 4 in the nation. Rockwall number 4 in the state. Woo! Yeah, Chris Glover wanted that strike, doesn't get it. They were ready to head over to the dugout.
Again, Jerry Johnson, home plate umpire, he is a very deliberate strike call.
2 balls, no strike.
No, it's 2-2.
2-2.
Our scoreboard operator's struggling today.
2 outs here. 3-1 Rockwall leading the Woodlands.
2 quick outs. If Rockwall can get through this inning without allowing the Woodlands to answer those runs, that could be big for them. And, you know, 7-inning ball game here. I mean, we'd only be 2 innings in, but that's 15 outs when you think about it. And the way Rockwall hitters have gone, I don't think they'll be held scoreless.
The pitch swung on, hit towards short, and there's Dustin Angel. Fires it to first, one hops it, but it's a nice grab by Carson Childers for the 3rd and final out. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors. Rockwall leads at 3-1 after 2. We'll be back for the 3rd inning.
If safety is your goal, Fabinco is your gate. Fabinco, the world's leading manufacturer of self-closing safety gates.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah, but it's in the car.
That's good.
Welcome back to UFCU Dish Fog Field. New pitcher on the mound here for the Woodlands, Brandon Miles. So Chris Andrizos heads over to first base after allowing 5 hits and 3 runs. All 3 of those runs coming in the 2nd inning to Rockwall. And Brandon Miles now in the game. And he's got to keep this game close right now. Rockwall up 3-1. We talked about those shadows possibly being a factor later on, so you want to get all the runs you can right now.
Brandon Miles, a guy who has been mostly out of the bullpen. He's made 1 start this year, his 10th appearance, or his 11th appearance, 3 wins, no losses, 1.46 earned run average. He's thrown 24 innings, 23 strikeouts against 14 walks, 16 hits. He's allowed 7 runs, only 5 of them earned.
And the first pitch is a strike on that outside corner of the plate to Garrett Moon.
Another hard throwing arm. They just seem to manufacture those out in the Woodlands. I think it's something in the water.
The pitch to the catcher, as in Garrett Moon, the catcher. There's a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Garrett Moon walked in his first at-bat. You can hear the Yellowjackets in the crowd.
Well, you can hear the noise in the crowd, Mike, but we can see both of the dugouts from our perch right here. All these Rockwall players are up on the top step. They're all perked up. They're all clustered together, cheering their mates on.
In the shade, I might add.
Well, in the shade. But you can just see the Woodlands dugouts. They got some guys kind of lounging over there. They're not as high energy, and maybe that's a function of the team, the guys on it, but
that hit him.
Yep.
So the 2 ball, 2 strike pitch to Garrett Moon hits him in that left shoulder, and he's off to first base. That'll bring up Kason Adams, who pitched a mighty fine game in Game 2 and picked up the victory for Rockwall.
Gonna get another pinch runner there. It's the illustrious number 6, who we're assuming is Jeff Dorsey. That's the 5th hit batter today by the Woodlands pitching staff. And, you know, it's not a walk, but you're still putting a runner on base that you have no chance to get out.
It's just like a single.
Exactly. It shows up in the on-base percentage, just not your batting average.
Kason Adams struck out to end the first inning when they had the bases loaded. We'll see what he does in this situation.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I'm wondering if maybe they would try to have him bunt and just try to extend this lead, you know, but apparently they're looking to go more for the big inning there. And with the depth up and down their lineup, I mean, Lutzel on deck had a double, Angel had a single. Both of them can hit the ball hard, so it's not like the bottom of your order in this strong. And we haven't really seen Rockwall try to put down any sacrifice bunts so far in this series. So they're going to look to try to throw up another crooked number there.
So the 1 ball, no strike pitch to Kason Adams. And back over to first.
And, you know, that's really how they've done it. They had a 3-run and a 2-run inning last night. They had the 5-run inning earlier today, then the 3-run second inning. So they've had 4 innings where they've put up more than 1 run. The Woodlands only has 1 inning where they have put up more than a single run.
The next 2 batters, Nick Lutzel and Dustin Angel, both had hits in their first at bat.
And now he's fallen behind once again. These Rockwall hitters, they can hit the fastball. We heard Coach Eastman say it. Now his pitching staff is really putting themselves in tough counts where they have to throw a fastball strike.
2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Kason Adams at the plate, going up against Brandon Miles. Runner going on the play, and he is safe. Hey, it's good to have that pinch runner.
Woodlands fans didn't like that call. The throw beat him. Again, the throw beat him, but it was high and in front of the base. He did a good slide towards the back side, and a good job keeping his hand on the base as well. So another stolen base. That's the 3rd this afternoon and the 4th in the series for Rockwall.
So runner in scoring position, 2-1 count, outside 3-1. Hitters count coming up here for Kason Adams. First-year varsity player has really stepped up big time today with that outstanding performance in Game 2 earlier today. Got the complete game, allowed only 1 run, 7 hits. Now he's got a chance to drive in a run. And he takes the walk. So Adams heads down to first. And with Garrett Moon at second, good situation here for Nick Lutzel, who steps up. He had a double earlier and scored.
Well, we've seen, here you go, 2 more base runners, a hit by a pitch and a walk. And catcher Dunlap out to talk to his pitcher. Now we might see a spot for a bunt here from Lutzel, because now a bunt earlier would have put a runner at second, 1 out. Now you can put runners at second and third with 1 out. Much better opportunity.
Nick Lutzel with that really wide open stance. You notice that his left foot is on the chalk on the far outside part of the batter's box.
And he stands up towards the top of the box as well.
First pitch to Lutzel, down low.
He thought about a bunt right there, but he squared awful late, and he really never fully committed to that bunt and offered at it. The third baseman, Hope, is playing back. Rockwall put down a sacrifice bunt in the 5th inning last game, or they tried to, but turned it into a base hit.
And the 0-1 pitch to Lutzel, and it hits him. Wow. You talked about a short leash perhaps. It might be time.
Well, there's no one up in the Woodlands bullpen right now. We heard Coach talk about they had Division I caliber arms out there, but yeah, that one, I mean, he tried to square up, and that pitch hit him in the midsection. And they're going to get Braxton Markle to go out there and throw. He threw 2 innings in our first ball game here. So Braxton Markle started this game as the first baseman, but not in the batting order. Now he's been replaced by Andritzos, but he can come out of the bullpen. Gotta love the rules of high school athletics.
Well, Markle, we've already seen him on the mound. He had some pretty good stuff in the first earlier game today.
Innings,
And those shadows are creeping up on home plate. Can't say that enough.
Markle threw 2 innings. They were hitless. He did walk a batter and hit a batter in the 6th inning, but he recorded a strikeout, worked a perfect 7th. Big spot here, bases loaded, nobody out. Rockwall could really put a hurting on the Woodlands.
Dustin Angel, who had a single in the 2nd inning and scored. He drives one in up the middle. 1 run is in. Are they going to wave the next? Nope. But the 4th run of the game is on the board as Dustin Angel picks up his 2nd hit of the game and an RBI.
Bases loaded, run knocked in, only 1 hit in the inning, and that was it right there. And I was going to try to say that Brandon Miles has to be careful. He can't hit another batter. He can't walk one. You know, you got to throw strikes, and he might have taken a little bit too much off there and made it too good of a strike.
And the Rockwall batters know it. They know it's coming into the strike zone.
Yep.
Here's Skylar Bean. Oh, there it is. Gets the late call for a strike. Thought that was going to be just high. No balls, 1 strike to Skylar Bean. Rockwall up 4-1. Looking for another crooked number like they had last inning. Crooked numbers being anything that's not a 1 or obviously a 0.
Would 11 constitute a crooked number? Because technically
Kind
there
of.
should be 2 1s.
We'll look at it like 9 plus 2.
There you go.
Skylar Bean at the plate. And he gets the late strike there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was a good strike right there. Skylar Bean hit a sac fly his last time up to drive in a run.
Brandon Miles on the mound. Gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off.
Just got a piece of it. Just kind of flipped his bat at the ball there.
For the first time today, clouds actually moving in the area, actually taking away a little bit of that sun.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on, strike 3. So a big strikeout right there for Brandon Miles.
Nasty curveball. But here's that man again, Brad Barnett. He has seemingly been impossible to retire today.
Yeah, single in the second, walked in the first. Reached base 3 times in the game earlier today in game 2.
In the first game last night, he was a very quiet 0 for 4. Gave no inclination that he was this offensive juggernaut, although his numbers said that he was.
Maybe he plays better during the daylight. And this pitch, strike 1, catches the outside corner.
Miles seems to have found the range throwing that breaking ball for strikes, trying to get strikes without having to throw his fastball.
Hey, if you can throw a strike with your curveball, stick with it. There it is again. Didn't quite get it this time.
Yeah, a little too wide. They're trying to just wrap it around. It's like you said, they're trying to get the call where the catcher catches the ball so the catcher could get it over the plate, but it would have actually wrapped around it and not been a strike when it crossed.
And the 1-1 pitch, strike 2.
Ooh.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 curveballs away from him, slow, then bust that hard fastball inside there. Barnett crowding the plate. Nothing he could do. He just turned away from it and let the umpire make the call.
I know what I would throw here. Curveball. Don't throw it too low, though. Not with the bases loaded. There it is.
Read your mind.
Thought he was going to get that corner.
Tried to go back outside from him.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. This is the key at bat right here. I'm thinking if Brandon Miles stays in this game, he needs a strikeout right here. 2-2 pitch. Just a bit outside.
All right, now for the former pitcher here, you've got a full count. You've been throwing your curveball for strikes some of the times. Are you throwing your curveball here and risking walking a run?
Fastball low.
Okay. Well, that'll work.
I never threw the curveball in 3-2. No way. That's why my pitching career ended in high school. High, ball 4. So a run is walked in here.
2 hit batters and 2 walks this inning. Only 1 hit, 2 runs have scored. Rockwall it's like a saying in football, you take what the defense gives you when you're the quarterback. Hey, if the pitcher's gonna walk you and hit your batters, let him do it.
So 5-1, 2 runs in the inning. Miles on the mound. Bases still loaded. Still only 1 out. Rockwall's out, hit the Woodlands 6-2. And the first pitch to Cole Ballou is a strike.
Ballou hit that line drive out to right field in the first inning, flied out to left last inning, so he has yet to reach base.
But
1 of 2, but he's hit it hard.
Had 2 singles in the earlier game today, was also hit by a pitch, had a stolen base.
And he's a tough guy to double off. He runs well. Now down in the count 0-2. Markle has stopped throwing in the Woodlands bullpen. He might already be warm out there.
I was going to say, he already pitched, and it wasn't too long ago, actually. About an hour ago. Here we go. No balls, 2 strikes. Swung on, hit to the outfield. This could drive in a run. They're going to be sacking up.
It's shallow.
And he will come home.
Oh, he thought there were 2 outs.
Wow. Yeah, I was wondering what Hill and Warren was doing. He caught it and just kind of nonchalantly threw it into his second base, but run scores.
That was Colby Brown, actually. He called off his center fielder, and you could clearly see he made that catch and kind of loafed a couple of steps and then realized, oh, gosh, I got to get that in. I don't know that they would have made it. He was shallow left center, but Nick Lutzel, not the quickest runner at third base. Ooh, that's a mistake. Just bad awareness.
Yeah, and I think he would have had a play at the plate. Colby Brown caught it, but he didn't give himself any chance whatsoever when he just kind of nonchalantly threw it into second. Because if you noticed, the runner on third didn't move at first. It almost looked like that he was pretty content to stay there, and then once he saw the throw going into second, he knew it was go time. So 2 outs now, 6-1. Rockwall in the lead here. And looking at ball one is Kendall Coleman, their leading hitter, batting well over 400. Coleman already with a single and a double. Had that big hit in the second inning, driving in a couple runs. He's got that wide open stance. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. Rockwall trying to bust this game wide open, open right now, 6-1.
I think they've already done that. A couple of 3-run innings here looking for more. This is the 8th batter to come to the plate.
I would say that against anybody but the Woodlands, though.
Well, you know, we're starting to have to wonder if maybe that one huge inning was kind of the anomaly, because everything else, they've been pretty well kept in check.
1-1 pitch. Swung on. Just a bloop towards first.
And on his thumbs.
And that will be the 3rd and final out, but not before Rockwall puts up another 3 spot. They've got 6 runs in the game, up 6-1 right now as we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com, powered by the Legacy Sports Network. We'll be right back with much more.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway, suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders.
Yes, sir.
If safety is your goal, Fabenco is your gate. Fabenco, the world's leading manufacturer of self-closing safety gates.
First Victoria, the oldest independent bank in Texas, a proud sponsor of the Legacy Sports Network. We're here at UFCU Dish Falk Field, where Rockwall has put together back-to-back 3-run innings, and they lead this one 6-1 as we move into the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Woodlands, who scored 12 runs last night in 1 inning, we know they've got the capabilities to do it, but they've got to do it on the field. And so far in game 1 today, they lost 7-1 and have only 1 run to show for it here in 2 at-bats so far in the 3rd and final game of this series. Stepping up to the plate, wearing number 11, Colby Brown. We'll see if he can kind of make up for his lackadaisical play out there in the outfield. He made the catch, the most important thing, the out, but nonchalantly threw it into second when there was a runner on third who then tagged up and scored, and the ball was not hit that far out into the outfield, so it was obvious he thought there were 2 outs.
Woodlands, it's kind of in a similar spot to last game. That's a strike in there. You know, you can't get back 5 runs right now with 1 swing of the bat, but you got to just start getting some base runners to get some rallies together.
You know, I think back to that first inning. What helped them get that first run? Well, they were making things happen.
They got a leadoff single, the sacrifice bunt, and then the RBI double. I mean, you got to get hits with runners in scoring position. Again, timely hitting right there. But then they ran into the out at third base with their slugger up there.
But I like the aggressiveness, though, even though he was caught stealing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Outside, 3-1 now to Colby Brown. Luke Shirley on deck, followed by Hill and Warren.
They had a couple innings in our first game today against Cason Adams where they got a couple of hits, but they came with outs already in the inning, and when they had runners in scoring position, they couldn't get another hit to bring them home.
So a hitter's pitch here, 3 balls, 1 strike. Swung on, hit to deep left center. This has got a chance to leave the ballpark, and it does! Well, that'll make up for it. Colby Brown with a solo blast to left center, and believe me, he got all of that one. That ball to the left of the scoreboard was a no-doubter.
Left fielder just turned and watched it go. Colby Brown, well, he's pulled square right now. He allowed a run there and brought it right back.
There you go.
Maybe that is what finally energizes this Woodlands team. They're all out there congratulating him as he crosses the plate. They're tapping his helmet there. But, you know, all the fireworks aside, they're still down by 4 now.
So 6-2, but hey, a home run will get you started. Luke Shirley, and he's hit.
I think he got out of the way.
Did he? Okay. Looked like he got him in the back of the shoulder, but maybe not. All right, and look at this. Jerry Johnson having a few words with the pitcher, Chris Glover, just letting him know, hey, I know there was a home run hit, and your first pitch is up high around the face. That's something we want to be aware of.
I never understood the rationale behind doing that. Colby Brown didn't admire the home run or anything. He didn't showboat. And if you're Rockwall, you don't want to give the Woodlands any more help. You just want to get outs.
Well, I think let's keep it all in perspective. I mean, Chris Glover, I don't think he was trying to hit him.
No. Well, he didn't want to put the 9-hole hitter on base.
Ground ball to short. Good play there by Dustin Angel for the out. And, you know, that play looks pretty routine to the average viewer, but that's a short hop that he's coming in on, taking a chance. It's not as easy as it looks, especially on an artificial surface.
Yeah, he made that play pretty quick, made a good, strong, accurate throw while on the move.
So Shirley retired for the first out of the inning. That brings up Hill and Warren. Fouled straight back.
Caromed a little close to our press box here.
And a good play by the youngster. Hill and Warren scored after hitting a single in the first inning. Warren is the shortstop, batting .325, 17 runs batted in. .393 on base percentage. So important for that leadoff batter to get on. I think about Craig Biggio and his role with the Astros, always able to just make something happen. All-time leader as far as getting on with a home run to start the game and just getting on base via the walk. Had that big pad on his arm, would lean that out there, get a free base that way. Hey, whatever it takes. When you're the leadoff batter, you got to do that kind of stuff.
Craig Biggio used to get hit on pitches that were strikes. That bugged me.
Hill and Warren at the plate here. Oh, that one's inside.
But he was the closest thing to Ricky Henderson that we have. I think Ricky Henderson might have the lead for most home runs to start a baseball game, but we could go look that up.
We'll give Craig Biggio the nod in the National League.
For sure. Oh, he was trying to say he got hit.
Pulling a Biggio right there.
He's trying to say he got hit. Hill and Warren is showing his.
He says, I got this pad on for a reason. Look, he's showing the bruise.
Yeah, you get hit by a baseball on your skin. That's going to show up. But he checked his swing right there.
His coach.
That can be called a strike
Ron
before the ball hit him.
Ron Eastman telling him, going down to first base, man. Going down there.
And
he is.
Okay.
It was Johnson, though, that ended up making the call.
Well, clearly there was contact there. I'm not sure if it might have hit his bat or they might be arguing that he did not check his swing in time. So if you swing through, if the swing occurs before you get hit by the pitch, that's a strike and you're out.
So fittingly with our Biggio discussion, Hill and Warren hit on the left forearm over on first base. Charlie Warren fouls this one off to the left. What a deep foul ball.
A lot of
340 feet.
Home run distance there, just sliced it foul. Warren put down a bunt his first at bat, so this will be his first chance to swing away here in this ball game. If you're Rockwall, you'd love a double play, get out of this with just the solo home run against you.
And the pitch swung on, hit towards left, and drifting just slightly foul. About 320 on that one. So 0-2 now on Charlie Warren. Hillen Warren on at first. Colby Brown led off the inning with a solo home run, a deep shot to left center. No question about it, all game long. This one, the previous game, and last night, the Woodlands, they can hit the ball. They crush it when they hit it foul, I'll tell you that, but they hit a lot of them hard into the field as well.
And the Rockwall bullpen is going to have some activity. It looks like that last foul ball caromed back into the field of play, so having to take care of that.
0-2 count to Charlie Warren. The pitch from Chris Glover outside. You know, Glover's done a nice job so far here for Rockwall. I mean, it's been very competitive. His team's up 6-2. I think they're going to ride him as long as they can.
Yeah, no real urgency in their bullpen, but still getting someone loose.
I mean, safe to say Glover he's not one of their frontline top 2 starters, but he's done an adequate job here and allowed just the 2 runs. When you've got your team giving you this many runs, you're going to throw strikes. You're going to put the ball over the plate, so they may score occasionally off a hit.
He hadn't walked a hitter. He did just hit Hillen Warren. 2 of his hits have gone for extra bases, a double and a home run, but he's done an adequate job, like you said.
Had a strikeout early on in the first.
Struck out Andritzos.
Yeah. So the 2-2 pitch to Charlie Warren. High. You might have noticed right away there, Garrett Moon was up to his feet, thinking that Hillen Warren might be trying to steal second. Keep an eye out for that.
He's taking some late bluffs there. This could be an ideal chance to hit and run right here.
Right here, 3-2.
Because we're already seeing Charlie Warren hit the ball the opposite way. Could be just like Kendall Coleman did for Rockwall.
Ball 4.
Whoa,
wow.
Where was that?
The Rockwall folks are not happy about that call.
Looked pretty good from where we were. Coach Payne is going to head on out and have a word with his hurler.
So the Woodlands here with runners on first and second, trying to add to the 1 run they've already scored here in the inning. And I'll tell you what, with Chris Andritzos on deck and Alex Dunlap at the plate right now, who just had a double. This is the power part of the order for the Woodlands Highlanders.
Well, we've already seen that you can hit a home run out here today. Colby Brown just turning the trick earlier this inning. I'd sure like to hear where that strike or where that pitch was called by home plate umpire Jerry Johnson, because, boy, that looked good from here. The catcher thought he had it, pitcher thought he had it, and the batter kind of hesitated just for a second before he stepped out of the box.
Alex Dunlap steps up to the plate, batting .309 coming into the series. 2 men on, the pitch. There's a strike.
No,
excuse me.
Say held up his swing. They appealed.
Yeah, Jerry Johnson was looking for a little help there on the first base side by Mark Maletka. He says, no, sir. 1 ball, no strikes. Swung on, hit to left. This is going to plate at least 1. It's going down the line. How about 2 runs for the Woodlands? A big hit right here again for Alex Dunlap. How about back-to-back doubles for him?
Just like that, they answer the 3-run rally with 1 of their own. Dunlap, his second double down into that left field corner.
And a pinch runner will come in for the Woodlands. That is Brandon Manger. So Manger comes in, and wow, Dunlap had an RBI double in the first, and now 2 runs come in on this double. It's a ball game again, 6-4. The Woodlands down 2. But have scored. Hey, they matched the Rockwall 3 spot with 3 of their own. And here's Chris Andritzos, their best hitter at the plate. Andritzos verbally committed to Oklahoma, batting .388 coming into the series. 12 homers, 43 runs batted in, a .359 on base percentage. He's got the numbers. He got the start in this game Allowed 3 runs in that second. Outside, he's got a chance to make up for that right here. He can take himself off the hook with a home run as far as being in line for the loss.
Well, the 3 batters behind him have not had near his success either this weekend or today. They might be careful with him here. I believe it's Alec Weiss up in the bullpen for Rockwall.
Yeah, he's the obvious go-to choice. He pitched a couple of innings last night, but actually just 1 inning, but he was not very effective and didn't have too many pitches.
He only faced 3 batters.
Yeah.
He actually didn't retire anybody last night.
Hey, you got to battle. Do your job now. Do your job.
And Jeff Payne is coming out to talk to Jerry Johnson. Might be making a little switch here. Let's see.
Yeah, he came straight out to talk to the umpire, possibly changing pitchers in the middle of an at-bat.
He is. He's looking right out there at him, and here he is.
Yep.
He's going to him now.
Pitching change in the midst of the at-bat. That's always fun.
Why don't we take a quick timeout? We'll tell you all about Alec Weiss here in just a moment, with Rockwall still leading the Woodlands 6-4, but a rally occurring right here for the Highlanders. We'll be right back on the Legacy Sports Network in just a moment.
The time is now for live video highlights of your school's march to excellence.
News sets up inside of the pitch. High fly to left. It's up. It's deep. And it's going to be gone.
Legacy Sports Network brings you high-quality HD video broadcasted by the best in the business.
Handoff, Adam Taylor lunges to the end zone, touchdown. This is one of the most exciting things.
With all the runs, hits, scores, and more, we're building a legacy 1 game at a time.
I appreciate it, Gerald. You guys at Legacy do an unbelievable job.
Join us on pay-per-view or video live streaming your favorite high school and college athletics at legacysportsnetwork.com.
Legacy Sports Network is going to be bringing this presentation to your home.
And welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field. Alec Weiss into the game here, 6-1 record, 1.30 earned run average in 64 innings pitched, 78 strikeouts to 47 walks. We knew we would see him today, and I thought we'd see him right about now. Chris Glover did a pretty good job. He leaves with the lead here, 6-4. But I think he was probably starting to run out of gas there in the 3rd inning.
Well, it's the walks that get Weiss in trouble. You saw it, 47 walks against the 74 strikeouts, better than a strikeout an inning, but right around 2 walks every 3 innings. That's just not going to cut it. Last night he came on. First runner was an attempted squeeze bunt by Luke Shirley that got thrown to the outfield. He walked the next 2 hitters and was yanked. Faced 3 batters, did not record an out. All 3 of them scored, and he walked 2 of them. Now coming on with the 1-2 count to Andritzos. Andritzos' at-bat will reflect on Glover, actually. If he gets on base and scores, it's Glover's responsibility.
And this ball fouled back by Andritzos.
But if Alec Weiss retires him, then the out goes to Alec Weiss. Second most innings pitched on the Rockwall staff and the most appearances there. So he made some starts. He came out of the bullpen right there. Just a versatile arm to have for them. And I have to imagine they're going to try to ride him, hopefully the rest of the way if they can.
And the 1-2 pitch to Andritzos, laced into left. That is going to be a single. And a throw into 3rd. So runners on the corners now. Andritzos with a nice piece of hitting to make up for that strikeout early in the game.
But Dunlap really hesitated right there. There wasn't an exceptional crafty deke or anything by the left fielder Cole Ballou. Dunlap just held up. That was a close play at 3rd base.
So Blaine Gillespie steps up into the batter's box. He's the go-ahead run at the plate. Ball high from Alec Weiss.
Gillespie grounded out to third to lead off last inning. Rockwall would definitely take that. Chance to turn 2.
And the 1-0 pitch from Vice. Down low. He was wild last night. Got to wonder if he likes that mound. You know, maybe he just doesn't feel like it's quite what he's used to. I mean, this is a collegiate mound. It's about as good as it gets. But
he's got good stuff. He just has trouble finding the strike zone.
He did this last night. He was throwing the ball low and outside a lot. See if he can get this corrected. 2 balls, no strikes. Low again.
And a very strange motion right there with his front legs swung around. He's almost standing perpendicular to home plate when he starts his stretch.
The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Wow.
Nowhere near.
Don't want to come in and walk a batter, but that's exactly what Alec Weiss does here after giving up a single to Chris Andritos. Playing Gillespie on with a walk. The Woodlands smelling some blood right now as Josh Shaw steps up to the plate. The tying run is at second. Go-ahead run at first. It's a 6-4 ball game. Rockwall has out-hit the Woodlands 6-5, but the Woodlands with a rally here via the walk. Hit batter. Bases loaded here. Down low, bounced in. Better get that fixed. Nobody up yet for Rockwall. And this is one of your 2 main horses. You got to ride him now.
Vice going back out of the windup.
Cannot get that ball up.
Good job by the catcher, Moon, back there, keeping these pitches in front of him.
Yeah, good call.
I would be stunned if Shaw swung at a pitch here.
2-0 count. Shaw with that big yellow bat. Outside, 3-0. Wow, no place to put Shaw. Bases are loaded.
Well, they got that one up at least.
Now you hear the Woodlands crowd coming to their feet. They know this is their chance. This is the opportunity they were looking for. Bases loaded, 3-0 pitch, ball 4. Shaw takes the walk. That's back-to-back walks.
Back-to-back 4 pitch walks.
So 6-5 now, and I don't think without any choice. Rockwall's manager stepping out. I think, Jeff, the first thing he's going to tell him is throw strikes at this point. I mean, forget about placing the ball where you want to. Just give me some strikes to work with. Well,
nope,
not even going to let it happen.
This has been a weekend to forget for Alec Weiss. He's faced 6 hitters, not retired any of them. He's walked 4 of them, and he has really put his team in a bind here.
So there's going to be a switch in the field as well.
Angel coming in to pitch now.
Well, Dustin Angel plays shortstop normally, and I tell you what, I've seen it before. Shortstops usually make pretty good pitchers. Got to make that throw from deep short. And taking over at short is going to be Skylar Bean.
Bean moves over front. Well, Bean might stay at second base. They were warming up our new shortstop, number 6.
Okay, that's true. I thought he was playing short there.
No,
He's in the shortstop position right now.
Playing catch with him.
Well, it's a tough situation to bring someone else in with the bases loaded. No room for error. You better be on.
Well, no matter what the Woodlands does this inning, Rockwall still has 4 more at-bats, and they have not had any trouble today against the Woodlands staff. This is, you're getting to the bottom of the barrel for both of these teams' pitching staffs here, and, it might not be a question of, hey, can you give me, 2-3 innings? It might be a question, hey, can you give me 2 or 3 outs?
Outs, yeah, no question. You get to this part of the season, and, these teams have had to play some doubleheaders in the postseason. At least Rockwall has. The Woodlands, this is the first time they played a doubleheader here in the postseason. But if you think about it, you're pitching, you can't afford to get lit up in game 1. Not the way that the format's set up where you're playing 3 games in 2 days. Rockwall, very fortunate in game 2 that they got the kind of performance they did out of Case and Adams, or they'd be in deep trouble right now.
Exactly. I mean, they wouldn't have anything left to call on. But it is debatable now how many other quality arms did they have out there. I mean, Alec Weiss, looking at his numbers this year, looked like he'd had some pretty good outings right there, but He did not help them out this weekend.
Yeah, you talked about his high walk total, and it's been his bugaboo. So, stepping up.
Ninth man to bat this inning, Carter Hope.
Yeah, Carter Hope. Bases loaded for the Woodlands. 1 out still.
There's a strike.
There's a strike. The fans from Rockwall didn't like that call.
That sure looked like a pretty good strike. I don't know why Carter Hope didn't like it. Our scoreboard operator thought it was a ball. Maybe he's just used to calling balls.
That one's outside. So Carter Hope with a chance here to put the Woodlands in front. Bases loaded. Swung on, fouled back.
We can see the shadows from the roof creeping onto that field of play. It's almost into the circle.
Cameron, I can't say it enough. I've seen enough games here to tell you that those shadows play a factor. You better get all the runs you can before those shadows start creeping into home plate. It is hard to pick up that ball. Swung on, hit towards center. This is going to bring in a run. Carter Hope with a nice sacrifice here, and we're going to start over, all tied up at 6, folks. How about this inning for the Woodlands? Playing a little Rockwall ball in this inning. Doing exactly what Rockwall's been doing to them for basically at least a game and a half. So 6-6.
Let's go, Colby.
And still the Woodlands with only 5 hits in the game. That's 6 runs on the board. That brings up Colby Brown, who led this inning off with a home run. Crowd very much alive, fired up. As the shadows creep in across the stands, more and more of the fans starting to make their way further down into the bowl. 1 ball, no strike. Down low, 2-0.
And Dritzos is now off the hook for the loss for the Woodlands.
Good point. And he had something to do with that.
He did.
And Dritzos had a single earlier in the inning here. So 3 balls and no strikes. Dustin Angel on the mound. He's played the last 2 games at shortstop and started this game at shortstop.
We saw him face a couple batters in that terrible 6th inning last night as well.
Pitch high. You know, I'm thinking the Woodlands batters right now, keep that bat on your shoulder till they can produce 2 strikes.
He looks uncomfortable. He didn't have any trouble there with Carter Hope. Got the lazy sacrifice fly.
Danny Garrett getting up now in the Rockwall bullpen. So the bases are loaded as Colby Brown takes the walk, and Luke Shirley steps up. Outside, good job by the catcher, Garrett Moon, to save a run there. Dustin Angel just saying to himself right now, okay, throw strikes. We don't want a repeat of the 6th inning last night. And it's starting to look like that right now.
It's not quite out of control yet, but it's getting there. Time was called before that
one. Yeah, so Ron Eastman comes over to talk to Jerry Johnson about that, and just thought maybe it was a little late to be actually calling the timeout. I wonder if maybe the batter simply just said time and didn't really make a motion. You know, the Woodlands here, they got that kind of matte green helmet. It's a good looking style, uniform here. Right now, they're looking good in this particular inning. Fly ball up the middle, and it drops in for a single. 1 run is in. Here comes another run, and the Woodlands takes an 8-6 lead. They've scored 7 runs here in the 3rd inning, and it's looking a lot like last night's 12-run 6th inning as the Woodlands takes their first lead of the entire day.
Making them pay for their errors, just hit it where it is pitched. And we still got a lot of ball game to go. Both these pitching staffs really struggling right now. We could see a football score before too much longer.
Hill and Warren at the plate now. Runners on first and second. And I might add, Colby Brown at second. I guarantee you he scores on a hit. With 2 outs, he's going to be moving. 0-2 pitch here now.
Everybody on the Woodlands team has either scored a run or driven a run in right now.
Oh, look out, Hill and Warren. Up high on his hill right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Woodlands leading 8-6. We're in just the 3rd inning. There's a strike. So Dustin Angel gets the strikeout here to end the inning. I don't know if we'll see him, though, in the 4th, but the Woodlands, they put up 7 runs in the 3rd inning, and they take their first lead of the day, 8-6 over Rockwall. 4th inning coming up here on the Legacy Sports Network on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway Suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders.
Yes, sir.
Up next for Career Day, quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
That State Farm agent said she helps people. What do you do?
I play football.
That's not a job.
Well,
Did you save my dad hundreds with the discount double check?
no, but I was MVP last year.
Mr. Hubble says trophies are for people with self-esteem issues.
Who's Mr. Hubble?
That's Rod Hubble.
No, it is not.
For savings, we're best in class.
Hey, Roger! Discount double check!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field. 8-6, the Woodlands leading Rockwall. Rockwall
here we go
coming
again.
up to the plate. And a nice effort in the outfield there by the left fielder, Colby Brown, as he retires Carson Childers, who gave that ball a ride. That'll bring up Garrett Moon.
Brandon Miles had a long wait that inning, although he's got to like that he's now got the lead and in line to pick up a W here out of the bullpen.
He's more concerned about a W for the team than a W for himself, I'm sure. But winner of this game is headed to the 5A semifinals over at the state tournament, the Dell Diamond, next week. And it's 8-6 right now, the Woodlands leading Rockwall. And those shadows are creeping up on home plate, as we have talked about. No question about it. A lot of these runs, I'll dare say that almost all of the runs have been scored when there's been no shadows. But last night we saw where teams had trouble once those shadows became a problem there early last night in the game. There's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sun has briefly gone behind the clouds right now, so everything is in shadow.
Which is a good thing for the batters, but here comes the sun again, creeping back in from center.
A little wide.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Give these pitchers credit. They have kept trying to expand that strike zone. Just give me a little inch here and an inch there, and they're just not getting the call from those umpires.
Both teams with 6 hits. Ground ball to third. Pretty routine over there for Carter Hope, who guns him out. So Moon is retired. That'll bring up Kason Adams.
Ball was hit pretty sharply to Hope. He fielded it quickly. He knew he had the catcher running too. Good job just setting his feet, making a good strong throw. Knows he didn't have to rush it.
So Kason Adams, who got the victory in Game 2 as a pitcher, steps up. Batting .260, 12 RBIs, 353 on base percentage. Doesn't come up to the plate as often as most batters do, but trying to do his part today. He walked his last at bat, struck out in the first. There was a strike there, no balls, 1 strike. By the way, I did want to tell you, I checked, Craig Biggio, the all-time National League leader in leadoff home runs with 53. So we're right about him being the National League home run leader. I think Ricky Williams got your American League
Ricky
taken
Henderson.
care of. Henderson, excuse me, Ricky Henderson. Only Austin guys call people Ricky Williams, right?
Well, Ricky Williams was a baseball player, just not a very good one.
He was a better football player. He did play for the Phillies briefly before heading over to the NFL side of things with Miami and New Orleans. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kason Adams. He is the designated hitter. How often do you hear about a guy who pitches 1 game, a complete game, 7-hitter, giving up only 1 run, and comes in and DHs the next game?
Well, in the first game for them, he played first base last night. So he really has been all over.
So Rockwall trailing 8-6, both teams with 6 hits in the game. Deuces are wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Some of the Woodlands players in their dugout got the towels on their head. There's a strike 3.
Second time Adams has been caught looking, did not like it at all.
So that'll do it here in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Woodlands coming back up to bat here in the bottom of the 4th, up by 2. We'll be right back here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com, powered by the Legacy Sports Network.
McDonald's Dollar Menu just keeps getting better. Introducing the all-new mouth-watering grilled onion cheddar burger, topped with melty white cheddar and caramelized onions. Plus all your tasty favorites for just $1 each. Every day, as always, there's a lot to love for a little on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
If safety is your goal, Fabinco is your gate. Fabinco, the world's leading manufacturer of self-closing safety gates.
Welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field. The Woodlands leading Rockwall 8-6 as we move now into the bottom of the 4th inning. On the mound now, Danny Garrett for Rockwall. He was warming up there in that last inning, and we had a pretty good feeling that he'd be coming in right now. Dustin Angel, not too shabby in that last appearance, but not the guy you want on the mound, I don't think, at this point of the game.
I think they like him better at shortstop. He's been outstanding there all weekend long.
That's his true position. But you know what? He got him out of that last inning. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Charlie Warren steps up now, .323 batting average. First pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner. Charlie Warren was walked in his last plate appearance. Takes the ball here, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Woodlands out of that greater Houston area, long line of talent there, good strong history, baseball. Been a big dominant powerhouse in that greater Houston area for quite a while. Swung on, strike, foul tip there, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Charlie Warren fouls this one off to the left side.
Garrett, the first left-hander that Rockwall has thrown other than their starter last night, Carter Lilly. It's been a parade of righties since then.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit towards center field. Kendall Coleman under this one, and he hauls it in. So one out here for Danny Garrett. Danny Garrett, the 4th pitcher on the day here for Rockwall. Probably won't be the last. Stepping up now to the batter's box is Alex Dunlap. He's had himself quite a game. A pair of doubles, driven in 3 runs. Probably the MVP so far of this one. And that ball is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Alex Dunlap at the plate. Swung on, and that ball is in for a single. Dunlap 3 for 3 on the day. And he's picking a good game to do it. Game 3 of a 3-game series.
He's just ripping them into left field. And, you know, he's not one of the biggest names on the Woodlands roster. We, of course, talk about Andritzos and their 2 aces out there. But, yeah, he's good enough to go to Stanford next year. So he's good enough to show up here and pick his team up.
They've had their fair share of great ball players through the year. Even John Elway played baseball there before he became a quarterback for the Broncos. No balls, 1 strike. This is Chris Andritzos at the plate. Andritzos has got the start in this game and just didn't look comfortable out there, but he certainly looks comfortable at the plate, doesn't he?
He does. He is not intimidated in the least.
Right up the middle, off the pitching mound. The shovel to second is not in time, so Andritzos reaches.
That'll be an infield, probably a fielder's choice, actually.
It's a hit.
They went and scored it as a hit. Okay. That hit the pitcher. If the pitcher did not slow that one down, that was a tailor-made double play.
Yeah, and that's the second time today that's happened. Sometimes you're better off just not trying to get a glove on it. Let your fielders behind you do their work. So 2 on now with 1 out. And that brings up Blaine Gillespie. Gillespie grounded out to third and walked in the third. Grounded out to third in the second inning and walked in the third. And there's a strike. So Andritzos is on at first. Alex Dunlap, his pinch runner now, wearing number 16, is Gary Burton over at second. Swung on and fouled back by Gillespie. Gillespie has some good speed, plays right field for the Woodlands. Both these teams trying to get to state. Easier said than done. You are battle tested, whether you're in the Houston area or the Dallas-Fort Worth area, no question about it. That's why so many of the teams that come out of these 2 regions go on to win state championships. Two balls, 2 strikes. 8-6, the Woodlands leading 1 out. Ball hit towards right. Sun could be a factor, nope. Good job right there by the Rockwall right fielder, Nick Lutzel.
A little bluff of a tag right there, but nothing serious.
So the designated hitter steps up now, Josh Shaw. He walked in his last at bat in the 3rd inning. Grounded out to second earlier in the game in the 2nd inning. 2 outs, runners on first and second. There's the pitch, swung on, fouled back. Well, we'll say this, Danny Garrett's throwing strikes.
That's been something they've been lacking.
The 0-1 pitch from Garrett to Josh Shaw, and that one's a ball. Carter Hope is on deck, followed by Colby Brown, but there are 2 outs. Rockwall trying to end this little rally. They're getting strikes in this inning like that one right there, and that's the difference. That last inning, you could just chalk it up to poor command by the Rockwall pitchers overall. The 1-2 pitch to Josh Shaw. Fouled back. A berth in the state championship, state tournament on the line between these two teams. Like two heavyweight champions just pounding on each other now.
Well, that's a very appropriate comparison right there, because it is about endurance at this point. Which team's pitching staff especially can get those last few outs.
Who can take the most blows? Ball hit towards right. Could drop in, and it does! That's going to play to run. Wow. Not sure if Nick Lutzel maybe didn't see that ball right off the bat, because it is, I'm telling you, those shadows will play a role.
He's playing really, really deep, though, because we said there's so much ground to cover out there. And the center fielder for the Woodlands, Charlie Warren, is playing much closer into the field. But everyone else, all these other outfielders, almost seem to be playing an extra step back.
So Josh Shaw.
A little bloop RBI single there. Last time he got one with a walk.
He's having a pretty good game today. Reached base the last 2 times. I thought they might pinch run for him there, but no courtesy runner. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Carter Hope will step up. I think it's a key part of the game right here. I mean, it's 9-6, but Rockwall has kind of found a pitcher here who can throw strikes in Danny Garrett, and I think they're going to have to stick with him here for a couple of innings. It's important that this game doesn't get out of hand.
Well, I can't imagine they have many other options at this point.
Yeah, that is true. Down low.
I mean, Kaysen Adams and Carter Lilly aren't coming back to pitch. Alec Weiss is already out of the ball game. Dustin Angel has already come on and give you a couple innings. Their starter, Chris Glover. I mean, at this point, are you talking about your 7th or 8th best pitching option?
Not what you want.
No.
With a chance to go to the state tournament on the line. So Carter Hope at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on first and third. He'll be probably the last batter that will bat without that plate being in the shade. Fouled off to the left. To get some time-lapse photography going on here and watch that shadow just creep right over the plate. I'm telling you, mark my words, Cameron.
Well, at this point, that might favor the Woodlands.
Oh, of course. They're up 9-6.
Yeah, they need outs at that point. Anything
There's a strike. Right on that outside corner. You might have noticed right there that Jerry Johnson had that kind of ring-em-up strikeout, but that was only the 2nd strike.
I was going to say, the scoreboard.
He was so excited to see a strike. You know? Okay. Now, Garrett's been pitching pretty well here, Danny Garrett. There it is, strike 3. See, Danny's throwing strikes. I like that. All right, so we now have completed 4 innings here. The Woodlands picks up another run here, though, in the bottom of the 4th. We move to the 5th. 9-6. The Highlanders leading the Yellowjackets of Rockwall. We're here on the FoxSportsSouthwest.com, powered by the Legacy Sports Network. We'll be right back.
The time is now for live video highlights of your school's march to excellence.
News sets up inside of the pitch. High fly to left. It's up. It's deep. And it's going to be gone.
Legacy Sports Network brings you high-quality HD video broadcasted by the best in the business.
Handoff. Adam Taylor lunges to the end zone. Touchdown. This is one of the most exciting things.
With all the runs, hits, scores, and more, we're building a legacy 1 game at a time.
I appreciate it, Gerald. You guys at Legacy do an unbelievable job.
Join us on pay-per-view or video live streaming your favorite high school and college athletics at LegacySportsNetwork.com.
Legacy Sports Network is going to be bringing this presentation to your home.
And welcome back to Legacy Sports Network's coverage of the Class 5A Region 2 Championship Series here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. It is 9-6. The Woodlands leading Rockwall. Rockwall stepping up to the plate now as we start the top of the 5th inning. And this will be number 13 for Rockwall. Nick Lutzel, who had a double early in the game, scored, was hit by a pitch and scored in that inning as well in the 3rd. He's been pretty productive so far. On the mound still is Brandon Miles, who's pitched much better the last inning. Right now, both these teams really counting on these pitchers to throw strikes. And the 1-1 pitch to Lutzel, down and away, ball 2.
Miles entering his 3rd inning here of relief, had a real long wait in that bottom of the 3rd inning and really cruised through the 4th, but be interesting to see how much stamina he has. If he's, primarily a bullpen arm out there, how long are they going to be able to ride him?
2 balls, 1 strike, swung on, hit towards left, and camping under it just over there by the foul line is Colby Brown. Does a nice job hauling that one in. Colby with that home run earlier in the game to left center. Quite a shot.
That's now 6 straight retired by Miles.
That'll bring up Dustin Angel. Angel, of course, was on the mound here recently, but played shortstop the last 2 games and got a little bit of action on the mound last night as well. Okay, those shortstops usually have pretty good arms. They're very accurate. You want someone to throw strikes, they're usually your best bet.
Right.
And there's a strike.
Tried to check his swing, could not.
Wasn't sure if they were going to give him that one.
Well, the home plate umpire made that call. He didn't even bother with the appeal.
Yellowjacket fans trying to be heard. There's a pitch right down the middle. Good curveball. 0-2 count now on Dustin Angel. Skylar Bean on deck. Ball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here, top of the 5th inning. 7-inning game. A berth in the state tournament on the line. That ball looked like it was going to be inside.
He just stayed alive. Very late defensive swing.
Yeah, Dustin Angel saying, you know what, I don't want that ball breaking over the plate at the last minute. I'm swinging at it. Do what you have to do. Stay alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dustin Angel steps out again. And it's official. The shade is over the plate.
Yes, it is.
We're going to keep a little running track here of how many he must have fouled that ball off his leg. He's kind of hunched over there. That hurts. You ever fouled one off your ankle?
Oh, yes.
Ooh. That is some
no,
pain.
Several times right there, and there's just not a whole lot of padding right there. You've got your cleat down there. Anyone who is taking in the broadcast here, anyone who's watching the game, has played baseball, done that, they can immediately empathize with how that feels.
It's a little bruise that just doesn't go away. Most of the good hitters, they roll down those socks, and, man, you see those bruises right there on that part of the leg. You feel for them. So it's a 1-2 count when Dustin Angel steps back in. He's been very productive in this game. A pair of singles scored in the 2nd inning. And they're taking a look at that right ankle. I think they want to make sure that not some possible hairline fracture.
It looks like they're trying to stretch him out. I think it was a cramp.
Could be a cramp, sure.
Well, he's been out there all day making plays. He pitched some. He's been diving all over that infield. It's hot out there.
Yeah, that it is. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of tell you about the state tournament coverage next week. Legacy Sports Network will bring you the Class 3A semifinals next week and also the championship game from right here at Dish Falk Field. Those games will be played Wednesday and Thursday. efforting Tomball in Class 4A as well. Of course, Fox Sports Southwest has got you covered right now, showing softball on the air and all the championship games across the street over at McCombs Field. They'll get you covered with baseball championship play as well next week. Time Warner Cable doing a nice job as well with high school athletics these days.
Folks,
all the games they bring.
Folks should really get their fix right now because it's a long summer and, you know, there's no school. There's not a lot of games going on there.
You know, I'm kind of surprised they don't play more state championship games here at Dish Fog Field like they used to. They used to play them all here.
Yeah.
But, you know, it would get to a point where a lot of congestion around the area. I think they like that, you know, moving out the games to the Dell Diamond. Some of the teams don't really want to play on this spacious of a field, especially for maybe the smaller classifications. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful stadium. The renovations they've done here, real nice job.
The problem with playing all the games here then is obviously a limiting factor there. You can only play one game at a time, and no one really wants to wait around a week if you draw that last slot.
So one of the 5 classifications played here at Dish Fog Field, and that's Class 3A. All the other classifications over at the Dell Diamond, and that all gets started next week. I believe it's Tuesday, Wednesday. Start crowning champions on Thursday and Friday. Class 4A will be Friday. Try to bring you some other scores. We know Dulles is in the state tournament. San Antonio Connor has advanced. I know Corpus Christi Moody was trying to advance. I had a chance to cover them when I was working down in the Corpus Christi area. That Moody magic is alive and well again. They have some of the best fans down there.
Dustin Angel being helped off the field here. I think his day is done.
Yeah, he can't get that leg to quit cramping up apparently, and I'm not so sure it's just the cramp, but, you know, right now the way he's locking up, it's –
Well, they were trying to stretch him out. They were clearly trying to bend backwards and stretch him. That's a huge blow for them because he has been so good defensively. And, I mean, oh, by the way, he had 2 hits in this ballgame, scored a run, drove in a run.
So Gary Burton will come up to the plate, and he'll have to assume the 1-2 count with 1 out. Kind of a tough position to put him in, too. He didn't get a chance to really look at any pitches. And, oh, by the way, the shade is over the plate. So good luck with that, Gary. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Goes back to your analogy of the boxers going at it here. It's a battle. It's endurance.
And he gets the strike on the corner. So, again, a tough position for Gary Burton to be in, have to come in and really only get a chance to see 1 pitch and before the 3rd strike right there is called.
Third strikeout for Miles, 2 of them looking. He's really frozen them.
He's looked really sharp here in the last 2 innings. That's exactly what the Woodlands needed. They needed someone to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yes, to throw up a 0 or 2.
All right, so that brings up number 2 here for Rockwall. Skylar Bean had a sac fly in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. .316 on base percentage. Skylar in that 9th position, playing second base. 1-0 pitch, strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Woodlands crowd here trying to help out Jerry Johnson with his strike zone.
Rockwall fans have gone quiet. They know their team needs some runs. They're going to, I'm sure we'll hear from them again before it's done. The top of their lineup is due, possibly leading off next inning, but they're starting to run out of chances. Just 7 outs left.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning, getting down to crunch time here. The pitch, fouled back. That was headed back this way. That's why they have the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The hits are even, and it's exactly the same on the scoreboard. Rockwall with 6 runs, 6 hits. The Woodlands 9 hits, 9 runs. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Skylar Bean.
Really seems like Miles is trying to spot that curveball, trying to place it, not just rearing back and throwing it.
Crowd really getting into it now, especially for the Woodlands. 2-2 pitch, down low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch coming up in a 9-6 game where the Woodlands managed to put a 7 spot on the board in the 3rd inning, much like that 12-run spot they put on last night in game 1. And there's strike 3 swinging.
I'm not sure if he went all the way around, but my opinion does not matter. It's all about the umpire.
Well, it crossed the plate, so there's strike 3. The Woodlands leading 9-6. We go now to the bottom of the 5th inning here on the Legacy Sports Network. FoxSportsSouthwest.com. We'll be right back for the bottom part of the frame. It's 9-6, the Woodlands leading Rockwall.
Thanks for the VIP treatment, McCare. Thanks for saving me all that money on my car insurance, Robert. That's State Farm's discount double check. We dig through your policy, find any hidden savings. That's funny. Before every home game, I used to do an Ivy double check. Really? Yeah, people drop all kinds of stuff in here. Old cell phone, French horn. Andre Dawson? What year is it?
Let State Farm find your hidden savings with a discount double check.
Caught it! Woo!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway Suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field, where the Woodlands Highlanders are leading this one 9-6 over Rockwall. And they are back up to the plate now, trying to add to their lead as Colby Brown looks at strike 1. And Danny Garrett back on the mound for Rockwall here to start the bottom of the 5th inning. He's the one pitcher for Rockwall who's been able to throw strikes.
New shortstop out there as well. Dustin Angel being taken out of the ball game.
This ball swung on, hit towards left. If it's fair, it's gone, but it's going to be foul. Well, he just about got all of that one. Already has 1 home run, Colby Brown does. That was a shot to left center earlier in the game. So it's an 0-2 count now for Colby Brown. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Danny Garrett, another left-handed pitcher. We've seen a lot of southpaws in this series so far. Swung on, hit towards third, scooped up, and the throw to first. Nice play by Brad Barnett.
Good, just set his feet there. We've seen so many times both of these fielders for these teams have just set their feet, made a good, strong throw right there, not tried to rush it, not tried to force anything. Good defense all around, really.
So Luke Shirley steps up to the plate, and that was the fan saying Luke.
Yeah, Luke, not Boo.
1 out here, and there's the pitch. Hit outside, 1 ball, no strike. Rockwall jumped out to a 6-1 lead. But in the bottom of the 3rd, the Woodlands erupted for 7 runs. They added 1 more in the bottom of the 4th, and that's where we stand right now, 9-6. The Woodlands leading Rockwall. It's been a great series. It's really been, this is the first of the 3 games that's actually been fairly close if you think about it. I mean, at least towards the end of the game.
Well, it didn't look like it was going to be that way, but this has really been a story of Rockwall's continual chipping away. They've done it here and there, but the Woodlands have just had 2 exclamation points.
Yeah, I mean a 7-run inning, and of course yesterday's 12-run inning.
I mean that's
hard to
been
overcome.
It.
So a walk to Luke Shirley.
The Woodlands have scored 23 runs in this series, and 19 of them have come in 2 innings.
Hillen Warren steps up to the plate and looks at ball 1.
Excuse me, 22. Let me correct my math there. Wasn't my best subject in school.
Yeah, college algebra was just, that was tough. 1 ball, no strike. Up the middle, base hit for Hillen Warren. He's been on base 3 times today as he ropes a single up the middle. So 2 on with 1 out. That'll bring up Charlie Warren.
And here come the big sticks are coming up. Dunlap looming on deck. He's perfect today. Andristos 2 for 3 and has just had a great series all around. Garrett can ill afford to allow any more runs to score here.
Woodlands trying to prove my shadow theory wrong. Yesterday's game, we had a perfect game, if you will, for the Woodlands going into
perfect
the
for
5th
4
inning.
and 2/3 innings. Yeah.
Ryan Burnett. And even Carter Lilly pitched really well.
Charlie Warren's trying his darndest to get hit up there.
Of course, Cason Adams was the story for Rockwall in Game 2. Complete game, only allowed 1 run, 7 hits. This game has been all about the offense. Just trying to find a pitcher who can throw strikes, really, for both teams. And I think the Woodlands have done a nice job with that here in the last couple of innings with Brandon Miles. And with their offense doing what they've been doing, and, of course, Rockwall having trouble right now. They're so deep into their pitching staff, they're having trouble just finding somebody who can consistently throw strikes. And there is a walk.
4-pitch walk once again. And a lot of these walks are just too easy. It's not like it's a full count and he's battling there. He just can't throw strikes.
Well, and I'll say this. Danny Garrett has been the most effective of all the Rockwall pitchers today with the strike zone, but still, a couple of walks will hurt you. So bases loaded for the Woodlands, and this now brings up Alex Dunlap, and he has had a monster game. Listen to these numbers.
Has.
Double in the first, driving in a run. Double in the third, driving in 2 runs. Another double in the fourth. Or was that a single?
That was a single.
Single in the
fourth. It was a hard hit single there. Didn't drive anybody in, but driven in 3, scored 2. And, oh, by the way, he's caught all 3 games as well.
Yeah, there you go. He's a catcher. That counts double. All right, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up. This is playable, it looks like. First baseman given a shot, and Carson Childers squeezes it.
That is potentially huge right there. Can't tag up and score. Now if you can just get Andritsos, you can leave the bases loaded and get out of here through the meat of the order without taking any more damage.
Definitely want to keep it to within 3 runs here. 2 outs now. And the big man, Chris Andritsos. Andritsos got the start for the Woodlands today, was not very effective on the mound, gave up 3 runs, was lifted after that 2nd inning, but does have a pair of singles. And this one is in for a base hit. That brings in 1 run. They're looking for 2. There's going to be a play at the plate, and he's in there safe. And, wow, the Woodlands with a huge hit. Andritsos with a 2-run single with 2 outs, and it's now 11-6.
That might be the knockout punch right there. Rockwall will still have the top of their order coming up. They're still going to get another crack, but they have cooled off since those 2 3-run innings in the 2nd and the 3rd. And their pitching staff just looks defeated at this point. They just can't get outs when they need it.
And stepping up to the plate now is Blaine Gillespie as he looks at strike 1. Runners on first and second. That was just a huge hit right there from Andritsos. So 3 consecutive singles for him. I tell you, if he sticks with that commitment to go to OU, they're getting a great player.
Andritsos 3 for 4.
Coming off a 3 for 4 game yesterday.
Last night. And in the first game today, he was 2 for 3. Oh, by the way.
Yeah. 8 hits. The 1-1 pitch.
Nice.
There's a strike, catches that inside corner.
Have to imagine Andritsos is going to be on the going to be getting some honors here for his postseason work.
Well, and you know, verbal commitments are non-binding. Base, oh, what a great snag by the third baseman, and he tags out the runner. Now,
I think they called a line drive.
They called it a line drive
Either
out,
way.
that's what I thought. Either way, the runners out.
What a great play by Barnett there to avoid further run scoring.
So perhaps with a 2-run single by Chris Andrizos, the Woodlands Highlanders could have punched their ticket to the state tournament. We'll have to see. We go to the 6th inning, 11-6. The Highlanders leading the Rockwall Yellowjackets here on the Legacy Sports Network on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. We'll be right back.
Meet Lucy. Lucy loves to shop. Lucy also loves to save. Luckily, Lucy can do both with her new First Community Credit Union Platinum Credit Card. Not only can Lucy save on that new dress, she can also get those new shoes, too. Apply today and take advantage of everything a First Community Credit Union Platinum Credit Card has to offer, including a 12-month 2.99% APR introductory rate. You really can shop and save. First Community Credit Union, official credit union of the Houston Texans.
Our innermost desire is the force that inspires us to find outright delight. With any size icy cold Coca-Cola, soft drink, or sweet tea for just $1.
And welcome back to UFCU, Dish Falk Field. This is the site for the Class 5A Region 2 Series Championship. This is Game 3. Both teams have won one game, but this is the one that will decide whether or not which one of these two teams will head to the Dell Diamond next week and play for a Class 5A state championship. Stepping up to the plate for Rockwall is their leadoff batter, Brad Barnett. This ball swung on and hit foul. Good solid hit, but just a bit foul.
You know, whichever team comes out of this ball game today, Jeff, you would have to say they are battle-tested. Whoever wins this game will have definitely earned it.
Brandon Miles, on in relief, has done a nice job so far today. The 0-2 count now.
Miles struggled in that 3rd inning, gave up the 3 runs coming on in relief, but since then he has just been lights out the last 2, and they loom huge, and there he gets Barnett. First time he's been retired in this game.
So Barnett goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Cole Ballou. We know he's got the home run power, but right now I'm thinking Rockwall just wants to get a man on base. After scoring 3 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, they put a pair of goose eggs up there in the 4th and 5th.
Yeah, that's just huge at this point with the way this game has gone. There's been runs scored in every single inning so far, which you kind of expect reaching this point of a series and with your pitching staff.
That's that shade over home plate. It's working for the Woodlands, I guess. Of course, the Woodlands would say, hey, we just scored 2 runs with that shade over the plate. Ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Woodlands with 11 runs and 11 hits. Rockwall with 6 runs and 6 hits. So we play here in the top of the 6th inning. Inside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Cole Ballou. 3-1 pitch. And there's a strike.
A late call there by the umpire. I think umpires really don't like that when a batter tries to head out of that box early. If it's a borderline pitch, they're going to call you back.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Cole Ballou at the plate. The pitch. Fouled back. You know, the difference is Brandon Miles is throwing strikes right now.
He is.
He's challenging the hitters. That's something that the Rockwall pitchers have not been able to do today in this 3rd game. Far too many walks and too many hit batters. The pitch from Miles outside, so there is a walk.
We are coming up on the middle of the order here, so if Rockwall is going to make a game out of this, this figures to be their chance. The lefty, Braxton Markle, is still up and throwing in the Woodlands bullpen, although he's not throwing off the mound. He's just kind of staying loose.
So Cole Ballou is on at first with a walk. The big slugger, Kendall Coleman, steps up to the plate. Has a single and a double already in this game. He's headed to Iowa, batting well over 400. Open stance, crowds that plate with that left foot. Right foot almost over to the front of the batter's box, and immediately Miles says, yeah, I'm going to move you off the plate just a little bit there.
Got to keep him honest.
And this is the meat of the order for Rockwall. As you said, this has got to be their inning. They need to put on at least a couple runs here if they want a chance in the 7th. Swung on, hit down the line, foul. Could have been big, and with the speed Coleman has, you're looking at extra base hits right there if that stays fair, but it doesn't. Rockwall's been a scrappy team, not only all season long, but in the postseason. I mean, beating Klein Collins. Some were saying Klein Collins might have been them and the Woodlands, the best two teams, obviously out of the greater Houston area. But Rockwall's going to need to really step up here in these last 2 innings, trailing 11-6. Swung on, hit towards right.
On a line.
But just too much on a clothesline out to right field. And that was a nice put out there by Blaine Gillespie. That'll bring up Carson Childers. Childers struck out in the 1st. Also was put out in the 2nd and flew out to left in the 4th. Childers placed first for Rockwall. Down by 5 runs with 2 outs and a runner on first. Need to start nibbling away at that lead here in the top of the 6th. Only one more inning after this in the high school rule book of 7-inning ball. It's been a somewhat fast-moving game, all considering the
amount of runs and base runners we've had. Yeah.
Got underway about 3:45. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, and that'll be the final out of the inning.
Rockwall's just running out of gas.
Despite the walk to Cole Ballou, Brandon Miles gets out of trouble. We head now to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 11-6. The Woodlands leading Rockwall. Will be back for the bottom of the frame when we return here on the Legacy Sports Network on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field. First Victoria, the oldest independent bank in Texas, a proud sponsor here in the Legacy Sports Network, here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Rockwall trailing the Woodlands 11-6. This is Game 3 of the best-of-3 game series. Cameron Couchoir and Jeff Power joining you here from Dish Falk Field in Austin. Glad to have you along with us on a beautiful Saturday afternoon all across the state of Texas. And Cameron, this is a chance for the Woodlands to maybe put this game away, up 11-6. And the way their bats have been going, they've got still some pretty big part of their order coming up right now with Josh Shaw stepping up. He had a single as his last at bat, also walked. This one swung on, hit towards right center, but under it and making the play, looking rather routine out there is Nick Lutzel. So that'll bring up Carter Hope.
Hope, the only Highlander who has not scored in this ball game, did drive in a run with a sacrifice fly in that 7-run 3rd inning. When you can say that only one guy on your team hadn't scored, that's a pretty good day at the office there. A coach would take that. Although I'm sure Carter Hope will get some ribbing if he doesn't come through here. Gee, we all scored. Why couldn't you?
Well, maybe Carter will take care of it with a solo blast. Ground ball to second. Not this time, anyway. And the old 4-3 put out. So 2 quick outs here And that'll bring up a man who did actually have a solo home run earlier.
And it was a blast.
Yeah.
And, you know, that really is what got it started there for Rockwall. Chris Glover had gone those first 2 innings and allowed that run in the first, but he worked a 1-2-3 second. Colby Brown greeted him in the bottom of that third with that line drive bullet out to left center field, and that was kind of the beginning of the end. Glover struggled after that. He hit a batter. He walked a batter, gave up that double to Alex Dunlap. Then he got pulled in the middle of the at-bat for Andritsos, and Alec Weiss came on and threw some gasoline on the fire, and it's been all Woodlands ever since.
So Colby Brown steps into the batter's box here.
I mean, that home run just kind of changed all the momentum. It was a 6-1 deficit. Ever since then, it's been 10 unanswered runs for the Woodlands.
And keep in mind, that was right after he made a play in the outfield by making the catch, but then inexplicably threw the ball to second when there was a runner on third.
Yeah, instead
who then,
of throwing home.
Of course, tagged up and scored. But Colby made up for it with that solo homer, and really the Woodlands have just been on fire ever since. After that home run, they went on to score 6 more runs in that third inning. And here's a shot to deep left center. How about a double to go with that home run? Maybe even a triple. Colby's thinking go for 3, and he is. Rounding second, here he is, and he'll go in, sliding into third, even though he didn't need to. Colby says, hey, you know what? I want to see what it feels like to slide on this non-dirt surface.
A homer, a walk, and a triple in 4 trips out of your 8-hole. That's pretty good production out there out of the bottom of your lineup. And a lot of pop, too, for not a big guy down there, but just really gets that bat through the zone with a lot of zing.
Now Luke Shirley steps up. Crowd chanting Luke. Walked in his last at bat in the 5th. Also had a single in the 4th. The pitch to Luke Shirley is a strike. Danny Garrett still on the hill here for Rockwall, trying to keep this game close. Yellowjackets will have one final chance, but they'll need to score at least 5 runs in the top of the 7th to keep this one going as we play in the bottom of the 6th right now. The Woodlands won the state championship in 2000 and 2006. Some say the 2006 team, they were the national champions. It's always kind of hard to decide really
it's very subjective,
who is the national champion. But, hey, that team, I remember it, that team for the Woodlands was sensational. But this one's really good, too. Line drive up the middle. Will it drop? It does. And it looks like Luke Shirley is coming up with a hamstring issue as he rounds first, but not before he drives in a run. He's definitely going to be coming out for a pinch run. I don't think there's any question about that.
Well, he could be having some cramps, too.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Hamstring or cramp, either way you look at it.
Trying to stretch out that right leg.
Yeah, I'd get a pinch runner in there for him, but he's walking pretty good now. We'll see.
I just needed a little stretch.
Ron Eastman coming to talk to Jerry Johnson about things. We'll see. It's 12-6, the Woodlands leading Rockwall. They've now got 13 hits. I mean, if they have scored in every frame except for the second inning.
Where they went 1, 2, 3 and just hit 3 easy ground balls in the infield. Baseball's a fun game.
Hillen Warren steps up to the plate. He fouls this one back right to us. Come on, Cameron.
A little bit short.
Get your net out like they used to do at Wrigley Field.
I would go bare hand if a ball came back up here.
Yeah, 1 in the 1st, 7 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. The Woodlands leads Rockwall 12-6.
That's next week, Tom Ball.
Yeah, Tom Ball is in the state tournament. I was just going to say, don't get ahead of myself. Tom Ball's in. San Antonio O'Connor is in. In fact, O'Connor, the first team in 5A, along with Dulles out of the Houston area. So a lot of Houston area teams will be in the state tournament. The 2-1 pitch to Hillen Warren. Ground ball to third. Nice stab. Can he make the play to first? Yes, he can. Nice job by Brad Barrett for the final out of the inning.
His team is probably not going to come up with a victory here, but he has had an outstanding weekend.
All right, we've played 6. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back for the 7th inning. We'll see if the Woodlands can hang on and punch their ticket for the state tournament in Round Rock next week. They lead it 12-6. We'll be right back here on the Legacy Sports Network, powered by FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
The time is now for live video highlights of your school's march to excellence.
New sets up inside of the pitch. High fly to left. It's up. It's deep. And it's going to be gone.
Legacy Sports Network brings you high-quality HD video broadcasted by the best in the business.
Handoff. Adam Taylor lunges to the end zone. Touchdown. This is one of the most exciting things.
With all the runs, hits, scores, and more, we're building a legacy one game at a time.
I appreciate it, Gerald. You guys at Legacy do an unbelievable job.
Join us on pay-per-view or video live streaming your favorite high school and college athletics at LegacySportsNetwork.com.
Legacy Sports Network is going to be bringing this presentation to your home.
And welcome back to Dish Falk Field, UFCU Dish Falk Field. 96 degrees out here, but it doesn't feel too bad in the shade. You can see the shadows cross home plate, and I think that's been a factor for Rockwall. They scored the 3 runs in the second, 3 in the third, but have put up zeros in the 4th, 5th, and 6th about the time that the shade started going across home plate. It's hard to pick up that ball when it's coming out of the sun where the pitcher is to the shade of home plate, but they're going to have to find a way to do it. They want to keep their season alive, down 12-6 as we play in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, you know, we've talked about the pitching staffs getting tired, but those position players out there in the sun all day, swinging that bat, running, that can wear on you too, and we're seeing some late swings as this day has gone on.
Garrett Moon with a can of corn to center, and making it look easy is Charlie Warren. Come on, Charlie, 2 hands now. Got a son named Charlie. That's what I always say to him. Hey, 2 hands, 2 hands. You don't want them to catch the ball with 1 hand so they get a little further along in their career. So 1 out now. And I tell you, how about the effort by Brandon Miles? Done a really nice job. 4th, 5th, and 6th, nothing but zeros. This ball fouled off to the left side.
And clearly the stamina to go out there and throw all these innings as well. Kind of makes you wonder why he didn't get the start in this ball game and leave Chris Andritsos over at first base. But Coach Ron Eastman obviously knows what he's doing. So,
well, they had a short leash, I think, on Andritsos and wanted to see what he could do. Just missing. Kason Adams at the plate right now. In case you missed this earlier, he did a great job in Game 2 of this series, which was earlier today. Allowed 7 hits, but only 1 run in a 7-1 victory for Rockwall to force a Game 3. He's at the plate now as the DH in this one. Only in high school, you know, you pitch a complete game and come back in Game 2 as the DH.
And you play the first game at first base.
Well, that's right. First game at first base, second game earlier today on the pitching mound. Complete game, and now the DH. Of course, he'll probably tell you, well, at least I'm over here in the shade while everybody else is in the field. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes, and I think the Woodlands fans starting to feel it now. Some of them rising up to their feet. They know it's getting close. It's getting time.
Rockwall fans still trying to cheer their team on and give them that one last burst of energy, but I think the Woodlands just a little bit better.
Swung on, hit towards second, but right at the second baseman. Nice job of picking that one up about a foot off the ground.
Sheepish little shrug of his shoulders right there.
Yeah, Luke Shirley. You hear the crowd, Luke. Just waiting for the crowd to tell you who it was. It's down to an out. The batter at the plate for Rockwall, Nick Lutzel. Swung on, hit towards third, and it's foul. Wow.
What a rifle throw over there from Carter Hope.
Carter Hope said, hey, let me just finish this off
Pitched
for
5
us.
innings in that first game. No biggie, just made a bullet.
Now, Nick Lutzel did have a double in the second, was hit by a pitch in the third, flew out to left in the 5th. It's come down to this. It's a 12-6 game. The Woodlands leading Rockwall down low. The Woodlands trying to head back to the Dell Diamond. They're looking for their third state championship since 2006, and there's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nick Lutzel at the plate. Brandon Miles on the mound. Miles, by far the best pitcher on that mound in Game 3 today. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, hit towards third, foul. There'll be the on-deck circle. Will be a pinch hitter. It's up to Nick Lutzel here right now, though. 1-2 pitch from Brandon Miles. Outside, ball 2.
Lutzel having to check his swing right there, and that pitch was pretty close to being a strike. Had a little bit of late movement that brought it back near.
On deck, Nick Belvedere. He's not played yet in this game, but he will be up if Nick Lutzel should get on board. Another foul ball. Belvedere would replace Dustin Angel, who had to come out with those cramps. In fact, he was replaced by Gary
Burton.
Burton, thank you, on that 1-2 count because he had the cramps. And we hope that's all it was cramps, the way he was carried off the field. They were working on his calves, it looked like. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Woodlands leading 12-6, trying to punch their ticket into the Class 5A state tournament in Round Rock. And there it is, strike 3. And the Woodlands Highlanders are headed back to the mouse pad at the Dell Diamond. They will play in the 5A state tournament, defeating Rockwall 12-6, your final score. And the Woodlands Highlanders in their home Stormtrooper white uniforms, as Cameron so easily put earlier in the game, are headed to the state championship game. A gutsy effort from Rockwall, winning Game 2 earlier today, but no match for that 7-run inning in the third for the Woodlands. And the Highlanders never look back after that. They win it 12-6. We'll be back to wrap it up here on the Legacy Sports Network on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. The Highlanders headed to the state tournament. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Gerald Burke.
And I'm Morgan Burke. I graduated from the Woodlands High School in 1998. I played football and I ran track there.
Morgan and I are lawyers. We office at 24 Waterway Suite number 660 in the Woodlands.
I was a former prosecutor here in Montgomery County. Now I handle the criminal work at our office.
I've been practicing for more than 30 years. If you have a legal concern, contact us at 713-862-7766 or check us out at thehometownlawyer.com.
And as always, go Highlanders!
Yes, sir.
Meet Lucy. Lucy loves to shop. Lucy also loves to save. Luckily, Lucy can do both with her new First Community Credit Union Platinum Credit Card. Not only can Lucy save on that new dress, she can also get those new shoes, too. Apply today and take advantage of everything a First Community Credit Union Platinum Credit Card has to offer, including a 12-month 2.99% APR introductory rate. You really can shop and save. First Community Credit Union, official credit union of the Houston Texans.
That was quick.
This was you. You've been trying to get me to eat egg whites for years. You went and talked to McDonald's?
Oh, an Egg White Delight McMuffin.
Oh, I knew it.
The new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Freshly grilled egg whites and creamy white cheddar. Also available on any of your favorites. It's another new way to love McDonald's.
This is good.
Yeah, it's better than good.
Do you remember my latte?
Oh, yeah. But it's in the car.
That's good.
And welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field. Your final score, the Woodlands over Rockwall, 12-6. Cameron Kuchwar and Jeff Power joining you here at the press box. And an interesting 3 games. It's the first time all year long in this postseason that the Woodlands have had to actually go to 3 games in a series, but they take care of it. And really, it came down to 2 innings if you think about it. They had a big 12-run inning in game 1, and they had a 7-run inning today. That was really the difference.
Jeff, you likened it to a couple of boxers, a couple of heavyweights just going at it right there. The Woodlands threw 2 haymakers, and they connected. Rockwall had a lot of good innings. They scored a lot of runs. They kept chipping and clawing, a lot of body shots, if you will. But a 12-run inning and a 7-run inning, that's awfully hard to overcome for any ball club.
I don't think any question. Chris Andritzos, the offensive MVP of this entire series.
8 hits by our count and 11 at-bats. I had him scoring 5 runs and driving in 6. I need to check my notes on that. But it seems like he started rallies. He drove in rallies with it there. When they needed a base knock, whatever the situation, he delivered.
How about the effort from Brandon Miles? Came in relief, a little shaky in that first inning when he came in, but then threw up 4 consecutive goose eggs.
You know, it might have just been a question of he was a little nervous in that first inning. His team was trailing at that point. It was his first appearance on the weekend. It's a different mound. It's heat. It's the season on the line for his ball club. Maybe he just needed to get his feet wet and get comfortable there. Then he had that huge bottom of the 3rd. He got that big lead, but also maybe he just got settled down there in that dugout. When he came out after that, he was throwing his off-speed pitches for strikes better. He really had those hitters confused. There was just not a lot of good contact off of Brandon Miles after that 3rd inning.
You know, Colby Brown had a good game. He had a triple, but that home run he hit really seemed to ignite the Woodlands. They were down at that point, 6-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Colby steps up, hits a solo blast to left center, and it kind of made up for that play where he had caught a ball in the outfield, but then kind of inexplicably threw it to second base when there was a runner on 3rd, and that allowed a run to score. But, man, he made up for it in a big way.
Well, they were down at that point 6-1, but they lost the first game today 7-1.
Good point.
They took the lead in this game 1-0, then had given up 6 straight runs. I mean, all the momentum was on the Yellowjackets side of the field right there, and he tattooed that ball out to left center field, and that really got his team fired up. They all came pouring out of that dugout. They were up there. They were cheering for him there, and then the next batter actually made an out at that point. But once they got to the top of the order again, second time through the lineup, it was all downhill.
All right, very good. Cameron Kuchwara, I'm Jeff Power. We appreciate you being with us here on the Legacy Sports Network on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Don't forget, we'll have championship action for you next week. The 3A semifinals and championship game from right here at Dish Falk Field on the Legacy Sports Network and FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Again, your final, the Woodlands, they win it over Rockwall. In a big way, they advance to the championship in Class 5A, at least the state tournament over at the Dell Diamond. Well, they'll be in the Final 4. We know Dulles is there. We know San Antonio Connor's there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Stick with us here on Legacy Sports Network for much more on that. For Cameron Kuchwara, I'm Jeff Power. Thanks for being with us. We'll catch you next time.